Good morning, Brenda. I hope you're doing well. What's doing, boo? Here. Eat your breakfast. Okay. Just had to point Mia's breakfast out to her. So I got up early this morning and did the cruise ship Hamburg, which is visiting the Great Lakes. Oh yeah. So you saw it, Brenda. What'd you think? Think it was all right? Hey, Skyfly, good morning, good morning. Yeah, it was an early shoot. I woke up, it was still dark. By the time I got down there, it was just starting to lighten up, and then by the time the ship got there, it was lighting pretty good, so. Yeah, hazy sunrise. It isn't a bright, clear, beautiful blue sunrise. Oh, you saw me down there, okay. Yeah, Joe's not here yet. Don't know where he is. Joel is here, son's, yep. Here comes Joe.
What's up?
Hey, how you doing?
Doing good. Slept good last night.
Did you?
Yeah, I needed. Went to bed about 9:30.
I slept on and off for a couple hours here, a couple hours there, a couple hours here, a couple hours there. Woke up at about 6 o'clock. TJ!
What's that?
Oh, TJ. I got something new. Let's do it this way.
That's pretty funny. Yeah. He's got his little hat too.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome. Oh goodness.
Went down, started my car this morning. Just to
did
double
it
check it.
start? Did it
Oh, yeah, it
start?
starts. But I got
Oh,
a little
there
bit
you
of
go.
moisture in there because overnight I left a couple of windows cracked. But you can see the moisture on the inside a little bit. So it's just going to have to dry out. I got all four of them cracked about an inch now. So that'll get the moisture out of it a little bit more today. It's going to heat up today.
Good deal, good deal. What's up, Brenda, Joel?
But I've got to put the mats back down on top of newspaper, on top of the carpet. So
Yeah,
the mats are gonna press it down and make the newspaper suck up the water.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that this weekend wash my car. It needs it badly, like the inside and out.
Mine, put like this. Mine's beyond needing a car wash.
Yeah. Do you wash it yourself or do you take it through a car wash?
Well, I used to wash it myself, but they got a car wash down the street, like $3. You just pay the $3, go sit in there, it runs around you and brushes you and everything. And
Oh,
I
there
went to
you
go
go.
do that a couple of weeks ago, and they're rebuilding. They're putting
I
new
don't know.
system in.
I kind of feel like when you take it to a car wash, it doesn't get as clean because you come out and then you look around like, oh, I missed some spots.
Now you ought to see this one place we got here, Pelican Car Wash. This thing got about 90 brushes in there.
Oh, really?
When you go through there, it's pushing the car around and everything else.
Yeah, I don't know.
When you come out of that place, it is spotless.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, I don't know. Like, you go through the car wash and it does like it sprays the soap and everything, and then the brushes roll around and stuff. But I don't know. I still feel like, because like when I wash my car, I'll open the door and get in all like the nooks and crannies and stuff and wash in there, and then just kind of lightly like spray so I don't spray the inside or whatever.
Yeah.
And then like I'll take the carpets out and shake them off and vacuum them out and stuff.
When I was younger, when my first car, I went to a car wash and forgot I had one of the back windows open.
Oh hell!
I'll put it this way: I got wet quick because I
Oh,
climbed
God.
over the seat. I climbed over the seat to roll it up, and all that stuff was hitting me in the face.
Oh my gosh! You're like, what is all this moisture coming in? You look back, you're like, oh man, I forgot to close the window.
So I realized it as I got in there, and I was climbing over the window, and as I got to, it started spraying right when I got there.
Oh gosh! Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Exactly right. So when you talk to him? Look, if he doesn't want to come back, I certainly can. I suppose so, why?
I got a rogue hair in my nose. Just keeps
Now,
hitting my nose and
Laura,
itching.
you're not going to say anything nice. Don't say anything at all. No, just kidding. Good morning, Laura. Hope your day is going well so far.
I was about to be nice, and she told me shut up. So
I know, me too.
like Thumper used to say, if you're not going to say nothing nice, say nothing.
Yeah,
nice.
I just said that. I just said that. So,
That's a direct quote from Thumper.
that's right. That's right.
Yeah. So I put the Master Air Screw props on my Avata 2.
Oh, there you
And
go.
I finally went out yesterday to fly it. Oh my God. All I'm saying is I flew it around the complex here. When I made corners, it just kind of gripped the corners. And I did some tight stuff around the pavilion. I mean, it stayed, perfect. No drift, nothing. And when it passed me a couple of times, I didn't even realize I couldn't hear it.
Oh,
How quiet
yeah.
it is. The Avata 2 isn't loud. It's like 1/3 the sound now.
You should
I
get
couldn't
some,
hear it when it was on the other side of the complex.
You should order some Gem Fan props too.
Oh hell no, I'm not changing again. These
Why?
right here, these are good. That's the air screw for the Avata.
I got Gem Fan on my Avata on my Avata 1, and those things work pretty good. Those are like, everybody says that Gem Fan's like the best manufacturer to order from.
Well, maybe I might get them for the Avata 1, but these right here, man,
they work pretty well.
Like I said, when it took off on me, I almost went into a tree. I had to guide around the tree real quick, and it was very responsive because when it took off, It just, I mean, it seems like it's got more speed.
Oh,
It grips better. And like I said, when I came around the corners, I was low, and when I came around the corners, uh, they have a pavilion. I came around and just barely caught the poles on each one. And that sucker, I mean, I think it would have drifted if I'd had the regular props on. But it
Oh.
wasn't drifted. It was grabbing the corners. Like it stayed in that same track. It didn't drift out in it. And
well, that's cool.
I came around low one time, and I come around low on the ground, and they got a bird in the grass. And that dove came out the grass, and he was in front of the drone for about 10 seconds going.
Oh god, like trying to like avoid it and trying
Yeah,
to
he
get out of
avoided it. And I just kept going straight. I wasn't going to do anything because I didn't want to hit him. And he
Yeah.
avoided me. But that's going to be pretty cool on the video.
Oh, that's funny.
I even went and did AI music for it.
Oh, did you post the video?
Yeah, it'll be out tomorrow morning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it says stuff like, it says flying with the Avata 2 low. It said grabbing hugs with the Master Air Screw props, the best props and all of this. Won't go back to the originals.
Uh,
The song was Flight of Freedom or something like this. It came out of a Freedom
oh,
Flight,
okay. Yeah.
Flying Free or something like that.
Fly like an
it came
eagle.
out, it was pretty good because I just put the words I wanted in it. The only thing I hate when I said flying low, hugging corners, quiet, not low noise, quiet. Went through all this, and then they said flying day and night. I didn't say day and night. That's the
Yeah.
only thing that aggravates me when they change something like that on. But it was okay because it was right at golden hour, and you could see the sun, you could see the rays coming in, so it looks like it was going at night. So
Oh, there you go. There you go.
I was able to get away with it. I'll put it like this. Usually I've got to do 2 or 3 of them to get a song I like. I liked it right off the bat.
Dusty.
What's up? Joel, Sunstar. Hey, Brenda. I see that. Take a bite and call 911.
What is that? Is that a cookie or what?
Boston
What is
cream.
that?
Boston cream.
Oh, yum.
Yeah. Well, he's gonna eat that one, then he's gonna call his doctor.
It's all nice and fruit. Yeah. That's funny. Yum.
Well, my son officially put his application in with St. John Parish.
Oh, there you go. Is that like a
Sheriff's
church or something?
Sheriff's Department over there.
Oh, okay.
He's 3 people on his shift. Everybody that he's been working with since he's got there all went to St. John Parish. They pay more money. They get new units, everything else, and it's on the other side of the lake. It's about 30 miles from here, and they're gonna live here and work there. Just drive back and forth. So he put it in yesterday. He said he had enough. He just had total enough of Covington. He said he got the word from somebody that the chief's got a target on his back, and he has no reason why. He's the most productive officer there with arrests and everything right now, and he's getting it. They got the other night when they were driving around, the chief was sitting in his office watching all the traffic cams, and they told him it was pouring down rain. They can't even see, and they told him just park your units. The chief gets on about 5 minutes later and says, "Why aren't y'all driving around?" Now, this is after they were told to park their units because nobody's on the streets. So they're driving around and they can't see, so they got their takedown lights on. And as they're going through the traffic things, it's making it look like they got their lights on flickering. So the chief hollers at his unit. He's with 2 of them. He's with somebody. They were riding 2 in a unit that night. They call his unit out, and you can't tell. It's muffled, so you know who's talking to him. And they're saying, turn off your lights. Like that. He said, we don't have a lights on, we have a takedowns on. They said, no, your lights are flickering. I'm looking at them, turn them off. And real rude to him, right? So they get an argument with the chief. You know, Iko, the other guy in the unit, gets in an argument with the chief. Then they find out it's the chief. Why didn't he say it is the chief? Turn the lights off. So number one, right? They all get back to the office. The chief and the lieutenant that's been giving the trouble to Justin, they're sitting there drinking beer.
Oh,
Both of them loaded.
In the police office?
Yeah.
Well,
Was
on
this
his way out the
yesterday?
door, he should file a formal complaint of drinking on the job of the chief and the lieutenant.
Yeah, it ought to be malfeasance.
Yep.
Was this yesterday?
This was the last couple of days. So he
Oh.
put in his application with St. John Parish last night, and 3 of the officers are moving over there. That was the last day yesterday, and they've already said, as soon as we get there, we'll get you on. So he's probably going to be going to St. John Parish in the next month. He said, I've had enough. He said, I finally had enough of it. And what's bad is the chief's got a target on his back. But 4 months ago, the chief's talking about y'all need to work like Trump. You know, he's doing more productive stuff than y'all doing. So what's going on? It's always political in those kind of jobs. Because I dealt with the same shit at American Medical Response when I went on the boat over at Treasure Chest. It got political because that was a political thing. The night they wanted me to stand a post outside the lunchroom to check people's IDs to come in. And I said, I can't stand the post because that is
I'll be right back, y'all.
assigned to security. I said, I'm not security. They called my people and told them I wouldn't do what they said. My people came out there and said, my boss came out there and said, you can't stand this post, and told them that. Next day, I was pulled off the boat. And then a month later, when they gave out the yearly awards, I got the award for the medic on the boat. That was the best medic on the boat. Figure that one out.
Yep. Well, you know, they say power ultimately corrupts people, especially if you're not used to dealing with reality. If you've got a big ego, you get any kind of power, they just go nuts.
Yep. I've had people tell me that work for me at Pizza Hut that I was the best manager they ever had. I let everybody do their job. They knew what was expected. They knew I was going to check. And they knew if it wasn't what I expected, then I'd tell them about it. It was that easy. You don't have to be an ass. So Mark,
Hi, Joe, Paul, and TJ, if you can still hear.
we got to figure a way to put with Laura when she says "shut up, Joe" in the chat. Just doesn't sound like Laura. So we got to get it spelled a different way, like "shut up, though, Joe." It's got to be like "shut," SHU, then UT, and then up, Joe. Shut up, Joe. So I slept for about 8 hours last night, woke up and slept for another 3. And my son woke me up this morning when he came in to borrow the vacuum cleaner because he's got to go vacuum his apartment because he got a date tonight. I have no idea who it is since he broke up with the girl. So he's got to clean his apartment. I was telling him earlier, Mark, I flew my Avata 2 with the new props on them.
Oh yeah.
I'll tell you, it had a better response. It hugged when I did a corner, it hugged that corner, didn't drift in it. When it
That's good.
passed me, I had to make it pass me 2 or 3 times to make sure I was hearing what I heard. I could barely hear it. The
Well, that's
sound,
good.
I'll say if the decibels before at 80, it might have been at 40 this time.
That's excellent.
Well, the best part is when I got to the other side of my complex, I couldn't hear it. That Avata 2, I could be outside the complex and hear it. I mean, the regular Avata.
Yeah.
I don't know what they have done to these props. Maybe it's that one extra prop. I was telling that to Johnny last night. And he said, well, it's already quiet. I said, you need to hear this. I said, and I tell you, I'm not ever using other props again.
It's very
Well, you flew your new props?
Yeah, like I said, I flew them and it was quiet. It was half the sound of the other props. And when I went around the gazebo, I cut the corner real close, and I hit 3 of those poles real close, and it never drifted off of. If it was 6 inches from the pole, the first pole, all 3 of them were 6 inches from the pole.
Wow.
It stayed right where it was supposed to.
So you're happy with the new props then?
Oh man, I can't wait to fly in a real situation.
Makes you wonder why you were flying it before, right?
Well, they just came out.
Oh, they're brand new props?
Yeah, Master Air Crew just came out. They said upgrade. You know, what is this an upgrade? When I took off, it was so responsive, I almost wound up in a bush. Because I took off and I was going to make the curve. That sucker just took off and went straight towards the bush. And all I did was just barely touching it, curved away. So I saw the responsiveness right off the bat. And I came around the corner the 3rd time, and as I was only about maybe 7 inches off the grass. I come around the grass, and when I get over by the telephone pole over there, they got a bird in the grass. That dove jumped up in front of me, and for about maybe 5 seconds was flying in front of me trying to avoid the drone.
Huh.
And I didn't do anything but just keep going straight. I figured he's safe. He can get out of my way before I can get out of his. About a turn we may have hit, you know. Now that would have been a good video. Could have said who attacked who, you know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to make a short of that one. While I'm talking, I'll make it. So, it just showed a car, all the windows open and all the doors open, drying out. And when they showed the car, looked at it, it hurt my feelings. It's the Lincoln Town car.
Really?
Yeah, it was either a Lincoln or a Mercury Grand Marquis. I could see it I saw it from the back. Oh, it was a pretty car. That is probably my favorite car I've ever had. That Lincoln I had.
Well, you know, you usually get comfortable with things.
Well, let me tell you the story behind it. It was right after we lost. It was before Hurricane Ida. It was right after we lost the 3 cars together. My son and my son and myself. We lost the Xterra, the Lincoln, and his Dodge Dart. We were all parked next to each other. It was up to the dash of my Xterra. It was over his dash, and it was up to the dash of the Lincoln. So we lost all 3 cars, and we worked a day on the Lincoln trying to save them. Couldn't do it. The engine was fine,
Mhm.
but there's no electronics. Electronics were gone. So I said, I'm not going to fool with it. Let's go. That wasn't the Lincoln. Wait, what car was that? It's something else. Let me think about it. What car was that? Oh, that was the. Okay, I'm back. I'm completely lost. I can't remember what car I had, but it was a car before the Lincoln. And I was looking around and I saw this Lincoln at one of the places, and I had to rent a car. And I had to rent a car because I lost the car for some reason. It was an accident. Yeah, that was the one my daughter had. She had an accident. I had the Xterra. It's the only one I had. She had an accident in the Sonic that I had bought for her. So I said, well, I'm going to look for a second car because she's going to need a car to drive. So I'll find me one. So I looked, I found this Lincoln Town car, and I said, yeah, I'll get an old man car. We went and it was like $4,500. That's what the price was. Went in there, looked at it, got into it, loved it. We were on the way home driving, and when I looked down, I turned the radio on, and it's got CD. It's got a
Jason?
CD player,
Mark,
and it
what's
had a
up?
CD in there.
Hi, TJ.
Hey, Jason.
Hey, Jason.
Hey,
Yo,
Jason.
Randy.
What?
Hey, Lance.
It had a CD changer in the car, and it had CDs in it. Where whoever sold it left the CDs in it. So I said, well, let's see what we got. So we're driving, my son and myself, we're driving down the interstate. I pressed the button, and it's Frank Sinatra singing, "Come Fly With Me." So
Nice.
we're
Nice.
driving down the road just dancing, you know. But that car was, man, like I said, I did a cold air intake, new manifold, changed all that stuff out. That Lincoln used to get me 38 miles to the gallon.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah, especially if
Eventually, I'm gonna get another one.
especially if he's going down the road dancing, you know.
Oh yeah.
What year was it?
2001.
Nice.
I had people around here that loved cars walk up to me and said, "That is the cleanest 2001 they ever saw." That's just, I took care of it. They had taken care of it. And come to find out, when I looked at the name, it was from Chalmette, Louisiana. And I called my sister. I said, "You know these people?" And they said, "Yeah, they own a Lincoln." I said, "What kind of car they own?" "A gold Lincoln." They knew the car.
You mean this gold
So
Lincoln?
when he traded in, I bought it. And my brother-in-law said, "Yeah, that dude took care of that car."
Yeah, Lance.
But I
Paul
got-
Paul posted the video of him flying his Neo in his backyard. He just went up and then came back down. I think he showed it like he showed it the video a couple of times too.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a disaster.
Uh,
Jason, you're not buying a Neo, are you?
No.
I mean,
I've got Nevada. I've got two Nevadas. I got a DJI FPV, and I've got a bunch of other, home built FPV drones. I don't need another. I've got a whole bunch of tiny whoops also that I can fly inside the house, and I'll break them out every once in a while just because I feel like flying around. In fact, I was supposed to have a job this weekend. It's funny, when it rains, it pours, right?
yeah.
So this weekend, I was asked to help out with a drone or an RC plane rescue from a tree. So I might go out there this afternoon just so I can recon the location and see what I need to bring as far as tree climbing gear goes. And then once I rogered up for that, I got a call for another job to do a funeral procession. They wanted a line of those motorbikes, and I turned it down because I already accepted this other thing, which the other thing I'm just helping a friend out, so I'm not getting paid for it. But I said I'd do it, so I'm going to do it.
There you go. Hey, Paul, Lance said that video of you flying your Neo isn't on your channel.
no.
Did
it's
you
not.
post it? Did you post it or?
No, I didn't post it. I just made it.
Oh,
Well,
Now, how much is the Neo going to go for?
It's pretty hard to post your stupid moves. You know what I mean?
What's stupid about it, Paul?
It's a move. Stupid or smart. It's a move.
Hey, Paul, there was nothing stupid about that. The
Yeah.
stupid thing was going back the next day to get another one.
Don't tell Jason about my too stupid move.
Wait, what are you talking about? You got the Neo?
Yeah, I drove over to Canada through the bridge construction and everything else. Just tremendous amount of construction. Found the Best Buy in Canada because they have them. They don't have them here. They have them in Canada. Bought the Neo Flymore kit. Paid with my debit card, and their price was like $575, whatever, and it ended up being $374 here with the exchange rate. Came back home, and I
Stop walking, work.
I tried to get it to work, and I couldn't figure the damn thing out. So I took it out in the backyard, and it went into, because there's little buttons on top, and I can't see them. Little buttons on top, you tell it what to want to do, and it was the selfie, whatever, out and back.
Drone.
And so it took off in my hands, went out towards a tree in the backyard, stopped and came back, and it's like, I said, that's it. I don't want this anymore. So I sold that to AZ.
Joel? Or AZ, David.
AZ Drone bought it. And so then I went over because Joe wanted one. I went over
No, I did
the
not.
next day.
I got witnesses.
And I went over and I said, this is for Joe. And I went over there and got another one. Came back. No, I don't want that because I don't want that controller that comes in the bundle. So AZ bought that one for his son.
And then he's trying to buy a controller to go with it, so you go back and buy another one.
But so you sold your drone because you didn't like it? Did it not feel good to fly?
Yeah, it at my age and stage in life, I don't like change. So because I didn't have the right visual controller that has a screen on it so I could see everything and whatever, I decided to hell with it. And so then Joe begged me to go back and get another one.
And then he changed his mind.
Got him one, and I came back and says, I got it, Joe, right here.
We all know the truth.
Joe says, I don't want that.
Sounds like
thing.
an exaggeration.
Yeah.
There's more than that.
So AZ says, I'll take it. If he doesn't want it, I'll give it to my son. Okay. Done deal.
Yeah.
So then I went out yesterday and I decided maybe I want to buy a controller. Because I've been having problems with my one controller now. So I went online and I thought I was buying the controller 2. And I ended up buying the controller 1 again. So
the RC2 and ended up buying the old smart controller again.
I paid for it. Then I went back to it and I says, I want to cancel the order. They said, well, they let me know in 3 to 5 days what the seller says. But they charged my account the money for it.
So can the Neo be FPV also?
Yeah, yes.
And can it fly manual?
Yes.
Yeah, it can.
Yeah, it flies with
it can do everything an FPV does.
It flies with all the, what is it? The FPV RC3, the motion controller 3, and the goggles 3.
How about the RC2?
And it works with the RC2.
Okay. Huh. How much is the drone alone?
199.
199.
$199 for drone with one battery.
Only $200. That's not bad.
$200. That's it.
And like two something, like 2 something with three batteries and the charging hook.
Charging Hub allows you to charge all 3 batteries at the same time. It doesn't do like the step like I'm used to where it charges this one and charges.
How many minutes for one battery?
Batteries
10 to 12.
10 to 12 minutes.
All right, that's pretty normal. That's enough time
That's 10 to 12.
get busy.
They're saying 18, but everybody's being actually they've been saying they're averaging around 13 minutes.
Of course, it depends on your throttle.
Yeah, what
How
you're
Yeah, it
doing.
conservative
depends
one is
on
in
what you're
the throttle.
flying
Right.
and the wind and
right.
everything else.
And it won't be available for us in America until October.
Yeah,
Yep,
about
ships
another month.
October 8th.
October 8th, they'll start shipping them.
Wow. What's up with that?
Well, there's a lot of theories behind it. Nobody knows why, but the theory is that it's retaliation to the United States for us damning China. Can you see your screen all right, Jason?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna share with the one that scared the hell out of me. Can you see it all right?
Yeah.
It scared him because he had
I
no
was like, what
control
the
over
hell?
it, because it was doing it all by itself.
The actual video is pretty good.
All right. Looks good. Yeah, looks like it's 4K also.
Yep.
Looks pretty dang
Yeah,
clear.
it is.
It's not blurry.
4K 30.
4K for effectively a tiny whoop that can
Yep.
do macro.
Yep.
For $200 just for the drone itself,
Yeah.
that's pretty good. Maybe I will get one.
And I don't know what the batteries are over there, but they're £35 each over here. So that
I mean, I probably just get the
$39 each.
just get the kit. You know what I
that'd be
mean?
about,
And
what's that?
Get the
About
fly by,
$40,
and then if you
40,
don't like the
42,
controller,
$45.
it comes with the gray controller, you know. Just sell the damn thing, or put it up on the shelf. The gray controller.
It'd be on the show.
I would fly it with the RC2.
Yep.
What I have. Yeah. All
Yeah,
right.
that's what I would like it with Darcy too. Works with the Goggles 3 and the Motion 3 too.
Oh, I don't have Goggles 3. I only have Goggles 2 and the Explorer goggles.
Yeah.
Integras. The
Integra.
Integras
Here you go, watch the bird.
and FPV V2.
Watch the bird come up right here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Right here. Right here. I just kept
Yeah,
going
that's-
straight.
I didn't see it.
I'll go back.
So
You
you've
gotta
got the
watch.
Neo also now, Joe?
No. What? Right up here. Watch. Now.
Oh
That's
yeah,
the Avata.
it's down in the grass. Okay, because I was looking in the.
Yeah, he was in the grass when I was coming over and he flew in front of me 3 times. Loki, stop. Stop.
That's funny.
I'm here barking all
Damn
day
bird.
because they're working downstairs. Yeah, he jumped up right there. I just kept flying because I figured if I tried to avoid him, we would hit each other.
Yeah, right.
But that'll make
That's
a
how
good
it
little
works.
short. I got people working downstairs. All you can do is hear them. So they're going to be barking all day. Loki last night walked sideways. He was walking sideways all night. And I gave him, go lay down.
Why was
Gave
he
him a
walking
hip treat.
sideways?
Well, he's hit, I think he pulled something because he was acting funny. And when I kind of moved him yesterday, he yiped. So I just let him do his thing. And I was going to see if he went under the bed like he always did. He got down and went under the bed. So he last night about 9:30, he got under the bed and went to sleep. Woke up about 4 in the morning, and he was laying where he lays by my shoes. And I don't know how this dog can lay like this, but he lays all sideways with his neck cracked backwards and everything, and he's on my shoes. He's got to be on my shoes. So he was laying there like that, and he got up this morning, run up front, grabbed the ball, brought it back to me for me to throw the ball. So he's fine, you know. So that's probably what happened. He probably pulled a muscle yesterday. Because he wouldn't jump off the little futon I got over here.
So is he? You think he's about the same, Joe, or is he doing better?
No, he's perfect. He's like nothing's wrong with him now.
Okay.
He doesn't have that glassy look he had yesterday. He had like a glassy stare look at me yesterday. Like he was telling me something's wrong, you know. First thing he did this morning, he come running up to me, slid off him. He was by my shoes, jumped up, ran in the kitchen, went to the bathroom, came back, ran up front, would open the gate, grabbed the ball, brought it back for me to throw it. He's probably telling me, "Look, I'm okay," you know.
Well, I just had a phone call from DJI Europe to say that they've looked at the RC2 I sent back, and yes, it's one of the faulty ones they sent out, and they're replacing it free under warranty, and they should be sending it out tomorrow.
Oh, all right.
Right. Congratulations. That's good.
Good for you. Good for you.
Hey, Jonathan, what's up?
TJ.
That's funny.
Tell him, TJ. Good for you.
That's pretty good. That's funny.
Yeah, that Neo's supposed to handle 17-mile-an-hour winds. I'll tell you, Jason, yesterday I went out by the lakefront. This is the morning after the hurricane, right? So I
Yep.
went out and the whole lakefront, the whole mile and a half is underwater. So I put my Mavic 3 up. I was about a block away. I got about a block away from it. I could have went right down there, but I didn't want to deal with the water. I didn't want to make sure I didn't have water around. So
Yep.
I flew from a parking lot about a block away. And then I did a video of the whole lakefront. The
Yep.
winds were constant at 27. And at 100 feet, they were 52.
Yeah, it's
And I
pretty
had
fast.
I had the Mavic 3 up at 100 feet most of the time in 52-mile-an-hour winds. And that sucker handled every bit of it.
Mark, Randy wants to know what's wrong with your RC.
I was brain
Mark,
yesterday.
are you there?
100 yards out in the lake at 52-mile-an-hour winds.
Yeah, it's pretty fast. That's crazy that
It
They handle
handled it. Yeah, it was handling it. I didn't even I got a little bit of drift. And the only time I got a high wind warning is if I turned towards the wind. I guess it was picking it up in the gimbal.
right.
It would give me a high wind warning and I just turned a little bit out of it and it would be fine. And I had a top down where I went straight over the water. And that's where I
Right.
noticed I was getting a little drift because it was kind of moving it from side to side. I had to keep it straight.
I flew the Avata around one of the memorials here in Virginia Beach by the oceanfront, and the winds were kicking so hard. It was canted over.
Oh, yeah.
I was trying to orbit around the statue, and it was just, yeah. And when I orbited it, it wasn't flat. It was canted over because it was compensating for that wind. It was
Right.
pretty cool, from a flyer's perspective. And every time I got on the leeward side of it or the windward side of it, it would push it. And then I get on the leeward side of the statue, it would just launch in one direction. Once I hit in the orbit around, it would go slow this way and then launch the other way. Oh no, I was flying King Neptune. Well, it was both high wind
Yeah, right
days.
now.
Yeah.
They're showing one of the rivers here on the North Shore. And I can't place it. That's probably because there's so much water. He's on a trace. Got to be between Slidell and Mandeville. I need to get out there with my Avada and fly. That's where I need to go. I need to go down to Lacombe, Bayou Lacombe. That water should be so high. that'd be cool. Flying the Avada back up in there. Yeah, between today and tomorrow, I'm gonna go do that because I guarantee the water's only gonna go down.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, I'm probably gonna try to fly this afternoon over at the airfield and try to locate this RC plane and then go pull it out of the tree tomorrow. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I'll try to live stream the recon as well, actually. The actual flight. So I'll get my stuff charged up. All right, fellas, I'm at the office now.
All right,
I'll see you
Jason,
later.
don't work too hard.
Later, sir.
See ya.
See you, Jason.
Is They got a branch. TJ, you're gonna love the. I wish I could show it. They got a branch in the water, right? The water moving so
Right.
fast. The branch is doing this. One branch, right? Doing this.
Yeah,
Rob Krieger said he's gonna call it the Michael Jackson branch.
the Michael Jackson branch.
He's dancing like that.
Well, one of the
He's
one
going
of the
to the.
branches.
He said it was going to the beat it, beat it, beat it.
Beat it, beat it.
Beat
That's
it.
funny. Hilarious.
Yeah, Rob Krieger, he's a fool. And that's the trace right there by my Slidell. 2-4. And he's doing a big interview and all that, and then he comes up to Michael Jackson branch.
The Michael Jackson branch. That's funny.
Hey Randy, I don't know if you heard, but I put the new props that Master Ash Crew on the Avada 2. Half the sound, better responsive. It hugged corners. And it seems like it's a little faster. Might just be the difference in response, but it responds a lot faster to anything you do. That's with the motion controller. I still can't get over how it hugged that when I made that turn around that little gazebo thing we got, the pavilion. I came when I turned the first time, I was about maybe 6 foot off the pole. Came back, I was still 6 foot off the pole on the other pole, and I came back to the front pole and it stayed about it never drifted, never. I didn't have to pull it back in, just tilted my wrist a little. And I didn't think the Avada could be any more fun.
Yeah, I like flying my Avada as well. It's a fun drone to fly around for sure.
Lance,
What's up,
Is that what
Lance?
you call that? Is that what you call that, TJ, flying?
What is that?
Good morning, TJ. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday the 13th.
Friday the
what's your
13th.
set of these there, Lance?
Yeah.
26 years ago today, I summited Mount Rainier.
Oh, really?
Yep. Hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
What was that? Is that a pretty high mountain?
Hang on.
It's the
I'm just
second
popping it
second
for the
tallest second tallest mountain in the United States behind McKinley, or whatever they call it now. I don't know what the official name is in Alaska. I think
Wow.
No.
so yeah.
So Lance, go get you a set of Master Ash Crew props for the Avada 2.
And why should I do that?
half the sound, more responsive.
Wow. Half the sound. Okay. And they're,
Yeah.
I think the black ones are 12 and the red and blue are 13 or something like that.
Yeah, I got the black ones because I didn't want to spend an extra $1.
Yeah. And I don't see them with my goggles
please.
on anyway.
Well, they show it in the ad with orange props.
Oh, they do.
I
Yeah.
want
Maybe
orange,
it was,
I want
maybe
orange
it was
props.
orange and blue. Maybe it wasn't red and blue. I don't know.
You know, it's red, blue, and black.
Okay.
Now the blue would have worked because they got the blue rib riders on it,
Get it into the
Yeah.
Just a second.
but I'd rather black.
Let's just.
And I have orange on my OG. And they're only 4 prop, is that right?
4
4
props.
propeller. Yeah. And what are on there now? I forget. Is it 4 or 5?
3.
3 on there now. Okay. So they're adding one and it's quieter and more responsive. Well, it better
I'm
be
telling
more
you.
responsive,
Well,
you know,
Joe,
so you don't hit another pole.
Lance, Joe says it's half the sound.
Yeah, that would be worth it. And it's so much quieter than you know, the OG anyway.
Yeah, when I was on the other side of my complex, I couldn't even hear it.
Wow.
When it passed me the first time, and I went
Thank you.
past me, I said, "Wait a minute, I didn't even hear it that good."
Yeah.
I brought it back around to hear it again, and that's when I listened for it. And it's just a little hum, just like a little hum went by me.
Okay.
I said, "Look at this." So I had to keep flying around by me to listen to it to make sure I was hearing the right thing.
They took long enough to put it out. My gosh, how long? It's been out since April, the drone.
What, 8 or 9 months?
April, May, June, July, August, September, 5 months.
I thought it was longer than that.
I think it came out in April. I think I got it right when it came out, but I could be wrong. Heck, I'm getting older.
I'd have to go back and look.
Yeah.
But all I'm saying is that, shoot, I don't want the other props.
Well, it's Friday. Guess what I'm having for dinner today, boys?
Pizza.
Pizza, maybe pizza.
Gosh, you guys are smart. You guys are swarming.
Friday's always pizza day.
We have that.
Unless you're at Justin's house, because Friday
It's burrito night.
burrito day. Yeah.
Burrito day.
And it's Aloha Friday, isn't it? I got my Hawaiian shirt on. Last night I went to a Jimmy Buffett tribute and didn't get home till about 11. And that was kind of cool. And then today's picture day at school, and I wear the same shirt for every picture day. So, you know, this is like my 8th year in a row.
Just be extra careful whatever you do, because today is, as TJ said, Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it don't matter.
It does to TJ. TJ put 2 cups on this morning.
2 cups, yeah.
Hey, Jonathan, I didn't want to
No,
spend
I
that
think I
extra
had 1
dollar
cup,
because if I didn't
actually.
like them, I would be wasting that extra $1.
Yeah, and like I said, Joe, I don't see the props anyway. So, you know, why spend an extra buck on a colored, you know, prop?
Now, the only thing I have about the black one I don't like is they make it a glossy black, and it's a whole different color from the original prop.
Yeah, I
And
saw
they
that.
would
I
make
noticed.
if they make it more like the original props, it would blend better with the drone, you know?
Yeah, but they're all 3 of them are glossy. You know, that's just that's
Yeah.
Master Air Screws kind of their
Trademark.
MO. Yeah,
Yeah, trademark type thing.
yep, trademark MO.
Yep,
Yep.
the brand. Now, if they would have had orange, I'd have bought orange. Because of the
Orange
little
is
orange
my-
on the front of the
my-
drone.
It's my favorite color only because it was my mom's favorite color.
And then I would have had the blue rib riders on it. And everybody thought I was a Denver Bronco fan.
Boo! Seahawks took him
Yeah,
to town.
I'd have had to take them off.
You see that one nick in the side of TJ's head? That's where the wife keeps slapping him.
uh,
Now, that's where I keep slapping him when I tell him to bend over. Get closer, TJ.
Get closer, get closer.
I'm closer to the monitor.
I was looking for, I'm trying to, well, I need to get some more stamps, but I was trying to find Randy's address because I thought I had it from when he sent me stickers in this shirt, but I must have misplaced it or something. So I just messaged him to send me his address so I can mail him out some stickers.
Well, you
Randy
have my
sent you a
address.
shirt.
Yeah, I got your address too.
Randy
get
sent
mine,
you a
right?
shirt.
Yeah, Randy sent him a
Feelings are hurt.
shirt.
Yeah, it's yellow and it's got his thing like right here on the corner of their shirt.
Didn't you get one, Joe?
No.
They got Johnny's shirt. My God, you're not going to get lost in that thing, are you?
About Johnny's shirt?
Yeah.
Johnny likes all them bright colors.
I think it's kind of a cool shirt, but like I said,
Yeah.
you're not going to get lost in a haunted house in that thing.
Is it a yellow one or an orange?
I kind of it's kind of a yellow green.
Yeah, it's almost a
I don't know.
Oh, you talking
chartreuse.
about his Halloween shirts that he made?
No, just his normal shirts, but they're like neon.
Yeah, he makes it
yeah.
so like a neon yellow. Like
TJ,
Remember
don't
when
you have one?
neon was big in the mid
Well, I just have his one with the drone on it and the tail saying Johnny Drone Flyer. I don't have the one with well, I have a hat that says the Johnny with coffee with Johnny and friends on it, but I don't have the shirt with the big
Drones and
emblem.
coffee.
Yeah, drones and coffee. Yeah.
So you just look like a construction worker, do you, when you're wearing it?
Hey, good morning,
Yeah, he-
burrito bender.
What's
some,
up, Justin?
he made shirts for me. The first shirt he made for me was that yellow. And he gave it to me to show me what they come out like. Then he made me a gray one, a blue one, and an orange one. And the orange one I haven't wore yet because I look like a construction worker. Either a
Well, if you
construction
fly-
worker or a convict, one or the other.
If you fly the drone, they'll keep you alone because they'll think you're official.
I can do that anyway, just by the way I look. Like I told you, you go out there, I've done this so long, you go out there and own the place.
Act like you've been there before.
You got to act like you own it. That's it. That's why when, like yesterday, I'm down there, I went around barricades and everything. Police looking right at me and they know me, so they leave me alone. Put my drone up.
So how long has your son got to wait to hear if he gets the job or not?
It'll be a couple of weeks probably. He's probably got the job. It's just got to get everything passed through on that end. The other three guys are starting there next week. So they'll put in words for him. They said, yeah, it was part of our shift. So
What's he getting a job for?
he looks like he's going to go to St. John Parish Sheriff's Department, get away from Covington, because it's getting political up there. Three of the officers that he's been working with, his supervisor, his FTO, and everybody else went to St. John Parish. They get paid more. They get brand new units. They need people down there right now, so they're hiring again. And like last night, they were Hess that was leaving, the sergeant that is a real good friend of Justin, went off on one of the lieutenants because one of the other guys came in and told Justin that the chief had a target on his back because of this one lieutenant that doesn't like Justin, because Justin worked every shift there is, different, like half the day, nighttime, daytime, swing shift, and he does more than everybody else. And they bitch about him because he comes in and he's behind on reports because he's doing all the reports. Everybody's sitting around. That aren't even going out doing stops or anything, not working because they're all buddy, you know. Shift one, he said the other day they were out in a storm. Shift one stayed in the office the whole day while the chief made shift two and shift three go out in the storm. He kept shift one. That's the shift that stays there. They noticed they stay with chief. So they all didn't have to go out in it, but they put everybody else out in it.
Oh, dude, I was laughing.
Yeah, so what happened is Hess went off on the lieutenant. He said, I don't know why the hell you got a target on Traum's back. Is it because he's better than every officer you got on your ship? You know, like that. And he said, that's why we leaving, because we're tired of dealing with you. And Justin put his application with St. John yesterday.
So
he's probably going to go.
I was laughing yesterday. I went into the sheriff's office and they had about 100 dolls stacked up, and it's called Grady on a Shelf.
Wait, what was it? They had a bunch of dolls stacked up on a shelf. It was called Grady on a Shelf.
Yeah, so you know, like Elf on a Shelf, they have one at the sheriff here, and they're selling them for $30 for charity. A company gave him. A company actually donated like a few $1,000 to his charity, and they're of the sheriff, and then they have all his famous catchphrases when he squeezes them. He says, "Did you hear
what's it
what
look
I'm
like?
saying?" I'll show it to you. Hold on. As soon as I'll show it to you here in a minute. I'm finishing up my breakfast, and then I'll show it to you.
Are they
No, but I can show you a picture of one.
Are they creepy looking dolls?
No, it just looked like the sheriff.
Oh.
Shoot, I might have to buy me one.
But our sheriff's like super famous. So.
Hey, Justin, you seem a bit salty this morning.
What are you talking about?
It's that Timu mic.
Exactly.
You squeeze it and it's I pity the fool mess with one of my officers.
Wasn't that a Mr. T saying?
Yeah.
I pity the fool.
Yeah. And squeeze it and say, if we shoot you, we might shoot you 15 times. We want to make sure we get it done. And that sounds more like him. I got 15 officers there. We're all going to shoot you, make sure it gets done.
Asshole.
So your boy's going to lose his Hellcat.
Yeah, but over there, I can't remember what he said they have over there. He don't have it right now anyway. It's in the shop. He's been driving that crazy Tahoe around. He's got one more week, and then he gets his unit back. Yeah, I told him, I said, you just need to chill. But you just need to chill until you find out for sure. Just go out there and do your job. See, but he's civil service. So it takes a lot to get fired, you know, because he doesn't have anything on him. Nobody's ever complained about him. So they can't, he'd have to commit a crime, let's put it that way, to get fired. And he would have to be convicted of it before they fire him. So it's like, I said, just go do your job, shut your mouth. But he's like I was. You get to a point where you just don't take the shit and you give a little shit back, you know. It's like, but I told him, I said, that's not the way to be, because I learned that and I saw what happened to me 13 years later. I said, it took 13 years for it to catch up with me. I got new stickers. Jonathan, I got new stickers. You know that.
Hey, John. Lance.
Yeah, Mark.
I got those stickers.
You watching the Solheim Cup, Lance?
Got those stickers.
Say that one more time, Mark.
Are you watching the Solheim Cup?
A little bit of it, I am. Yeah.
Should be good.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, the season's starting to wind down over here.
Yeah.
You know, well,
Yeah, but it starts about 2 weeks later, doesn't it?
yep.
Hey, Jonathan, I always also have these. The
And
trading
it's
card.
the President's Cup next month, isn't it?
I believe so.
Mm. Yeah, Mike Weir's captain of the international team.
And he's Canadian, I believe.
Yep, and they've got 3 Canadians in the team as well.
He's been around a long time. He's got to be in his late 40s, early 50s.
Possibly mid-50s, maybe.
Yeah. And
I
he's a
don't know,
lefty to boot.
Is he on the what's it? Is he on the seniors tour now? If he's over 50, he'll be playing on the seniors.
Yeah.
TJ, what
And you don't see
most
too
of
many lefties being successful.
There's getting
Too many
more of them.
lefties.
There's more of them. There was a left-handed girl in the Curtis Cup in the American team.
Yeah.
This is the Grady on the shelf for.
Guess what? This is our new and improved Sheriff on the Shelf. Out just in time for Christmas or your birthday or, heck, Halloween. Bring him to Thanksgiving. Wait a minute.
Did you hear me? Did you hear what I said?
That's right. Did you hear what I said?
Come on, girl. Hello, everyone. This is Sheriff Grady Judd.
What do you think about that? The dude talks to you this year. $30, limit 5, and they're going fast. So if you want one, cash money, it all goes to our charity.
Hello, everyone. This is Sheriff Grady Judd. That guy's got a itch in his giddy-up.
See you soon. Merry Christmas.
But he's got a. There was still
That's pretty funny.
at their main sheriff's office. I didn't ask about him. I saw him. I didn't ask the guy about him. I was like, "What the hell are those?" I was like, "I wonder what," because they had charity all over the boxes. I was like, "I wonder what they're doing with them."
And where'd you see this out at your local sheriff's office?
Yeah, when I went in there to get my fingerprints done for my job yesterday.
Oh,
so I went home
what'd you
and I
apply?
looked
What'd you apply for?
working for the bus department for the county. For
Oh,
the students.
nice.
But,
So what are you gonna be doing? You gonna be driving buses or what?
Nope, I get a bunch of money just to sit on the bus and watch the kids.
Oh, that's pretty awesome. That's cool.
He gets paid a lot of money to do that, TJ.
Shoot,
Oh,
I
it's a
should try
good-
that.
It's a good county job, though. Like I said, at the end of the day, it's a county job, and county and city jobs are some of the best ones.
Well,
to
I
get.
can see TJ on the back of the bus.
That must be
I can
Rob.
see
everybody.
I can see the kids picking on TJ. He's just like,
Yeah.
"Leave me alone. I just tried to live my
Listen
life."
here, you little shit. Sit down and behave. I'm gonna punch you in the face.
No, I can see TJ. Just leave me alone. I'm just trying to live my life. Stop picking on me.
Yeah, that's funny. I'm just trying to live my life. Hey,
Bus driver, to all students, please stop picking on TJ.
Does that come with benefits and stuff?
Uh-huh.
Oh, nice. What kind of benefits?
Insurance,
Money.
retirement, all that stuff.
401k, medical and dental?
Yeah,
And
Yeah,
money.
you get, like I said, at the end of the day, it's an actual county job. So
You're
you're
working for
getting
the
paid by
county.
the county. So
What happened in school holidays? Do you get the time?
And the
for
thing of it
you?
is, TJ, according to Justin, they're looking for those kind of employees all the time. So probably your county is the same way.
Yeah.
I know here bus drivers and bus attendants are very short staffed. What they were saying, so. I had one lady that got mad because I wasn't in her area because she wanted me on her bus. She
Why'd
said,
you
I'd
get
love
mad
to.
at you? How come
No,
you got
because
mad?
because I want. Yeah, she said, I'd love to have somebody your size on my bus because those fucking little kids. I was like,
Just imagine TJ doing that. He'd have the kids in stitches when he started laughing.
Yeah. Like, man, this guy's crazy. Just laughing.
TJ, you're working for minimum wage, right?
Yeah.
wait, how
Yeah,
much are you making an hour?
I think like 15, 16 bucks an
That's
hour.
not minimum wage in Florida. Minimum wage in Florida is like, I think 11 or 10. It's not, you're making well over minimum wage. Now it's still not that great for your area because you live in kind of a high area, high priced
No.
area. What? Let me see. I know it ain't $15 though. Florida's minimum wage. Yeah, it's only
Hey,
13 an
Lance.
hour, so you're $2 over.
I think it's like 16 or 18, maybe.
So 13 an hour is Florida's minimum wage. So you're $2 over that if you're making 15.
Oh.
Yeah, yesterday I finally got to the point where I had to wash my clothes. I was running out of clothes. So I washed and dried my clothes. And the bottom of the dryer is a 64 gigabyte SD card. I washed my SD card with everything.
Oh,
Oh,
hell no.
That's one way to do it.
But I had it in a plastic case. I tested it out this morning. It works.
Oh, there you go.
I've done that before, and they seem to recover fine.
Well, it
You
was
don't
in
wanna
a
do it.
plastic case, so I think that protected it.
You don't want to do it all the time, but I've
Yeah.
done that.
Yeah, it's better off just to use the electronics to wipe it out. Don't try to use.
Yeah,
That's what I was thinking.
say,
There's got to be a better way to erase them. Huh?
yeah, you just reformat them. Don't throw them in the washing machine.
Yeah, I checked it out, and it still had stuff on it, and it still worked. So
I've washed memory cards tons of times in my pockets. Never really heard them.
Yeah, I
the
have
problem
to.
is I never put them in my pocket. I did this time because I had a disc I was curious about, and I had to shoot something. I wanted to make sure I had an extra one in case.
Well, that's kind of weird. Or kind of, I don't know. Like if you sucked one up in the vacuum, it would still work, right? Because you just sucked it up in there. You could just get it out.
And he didn't tell
Yeah,
you
it
what that
depends
poor
on-
memory card went through of all the other shit he sucks up in that vacuum too.
It ended up a shitty card.
Be right back, guys.
The memory card was bobbing and weaving going through that hose.
Don't choke there.
Jonathan-
Don't choke.
Jonathan said they're short staffed because the kids are carrying guns, and it'll shoot you if you try to put them in their place.
Probably, maybe it did. I don't know.
We don't really have that problem around here.
Hey, Paul, you see this week because of the hurricane and all this crap that I haven't done anything? I got a game tonight, and my whole schedule's messed up.
Wow.
You know, because normally I'd be finishing stuff and I'd be ready for the game. I got to go get all my equipment together. I mean, It's like I woke up this morning. I said, "Oh shit, it's Friday. We got a game tonight."
We haven't had really any violent issues on our buses around here.
Well, the good thing
So-
is, Joe, it's not gonna rain tonight.
Oh, it's gonna be beautiful.
If the bus driver feels like the
77
kid's
degrees.
out of control, she'll just call the police department and they'll come get them off the bus.
So when do you start that thing?
Not till the 7th of October, so that's the nearest training class I have when I went in the other day, so there's nothing I can do for another couple weeks. Except for sit back and wait. So.
yeah. So
No,
what
but if
what made you go and apply for that position?
Well, Sarah's mom's a bus driver and it was
Hey.
an easy,
Oh,
Yep.
they were stressing so
getting
much
people
on getting
working
people that it was kind of an easy grab real
Come here.
quick.
I mean, don't get scared.
Dude, I tried so many jobs like over the summertime
They're working downstairs.
before they went back to school and I couldn't fucking get anything, dude. All these
Mm.
places claim they need people, but then you constantly call and you ask them. Dude,
yeah.
I'd call
Yep.
Walmart, I'd call Home Depot, I'd call Lowe's. There was like 7 or 8 places I would call every week and ask for the manager and I'd say, "Are you looking for anybody yet?" I called last week, my application's in, and half of them don't even want to talk to you, dude. There's no personal with the managers anymore at any of these companies. They don't even want to talk to you. They just say, "If your application's in there, if we need you, we'll call you." They don't want
Yeah,
to look
that's
you
yeah,
up.
that's what they
They don't.
normally say. That's what they normally say.
And
Yeah.
so that makes right there makes it harder to get a job because you're trying to talk to these people and they don't want to hear anything from you because the way their system is set up, they don't need to. They get a pool of a couple thousand applications that they can go thumb through whenever they feel like it. And they don't give a crap if you call and bug them. I mean, dude, it pisses me off, dude. Like back in the day, you had to be personable with the manager to get a job, you know? Like back when
Right.
they were all paper applications, you had to go in, get the application, fill it out, talk to the manager,
Yeah.
shake their hand, say, you know, "I really need a job. I need you to, if you know, whenever you're ready to start work, I can start right now," or whatever. You'd have that whole conversation with the manager and then they would be, you know, right then, a lot of times you could get a job right then on the spot. But nowadays they
Yep.
just don't give a shit.
Yeah, things changed. I used to do interviews
That's
3
so
days a week.
weird.
When I managed the Pizza Hut, we used to have interviews on actually 2 days, Mondays and Wednesdays.
And then mom and pop places, they're hardly ever hiring because they've had the same employees for 10 years.
Yeah.
And they don't even have applications, half of those places. You go in there and they don't even have applications because they don't ever deal with that. So they'll just tell you, "No, we're not looking for anybody." Like I said, there's just if there's one thing that I hate that has gone digital is applications. If there's one thing I had to complain about the new digital age would be applications. I hate that shit.
Yeah, because I've got mine on Indeed and I haven't heard it. I mean, I'll be like looking through there and I don't see anything that.
Oh, don't get me fucking started on Indeed. Dude, Indeed pisses me off, dude, because it will tell you that there's jobs open. You go into and then you apply for it, and then they'll send you an email or the company will call you and say, "Oh, well, we're not actually hiring right now."
Hey,
Well,
Randy,
what's
Russell,
the point
Mike.
putting your
Well, there's 2 reasons why they do it. Either they don't pull the listing down after the job's filled. A lot of companies don't. They just leave it up. And then other companies are just trying to get an application pool. So they can get enough people to apply that whenever they feel like
Yep.
hiring somebody, they can thumb through the applications. And they've got
All
a
they're
big
doing
pool
is
of people.
screening.
Oh, Indeed fucking sucks, dude. I don't know how many hundreds of applications I put in on Indeed and never got one call back on any of them. Not one fucking
Yeah,
callback.
That's crazy.
And I had a professional resume all typed up and everything that that Sean helped me do. Sean helped me get my resume all formatted right and everything. Picked a
Right.
special font, like made it look really nice, and still nothing.
No, that's crazy. I mean, I see like a bunch of pool companies and like I see like all these things, and I'm just like, man, that doesn't really interest me. That doesn't really. I mean, like I don't know what the hell I want to do. I just want to get the hell out of retail and just do something else. But I'm just not really sure what.
I mean, if you want to learn how to do something and it pays well, go into HVAC. See if somebody will hire you as like an apprentice and teach you how to work on air conditioners. You make a lot of
Yeah.
money doing that. And you'll be outside at a new location every day. So it's not so tedious because you'll be at a different place every day.
Hey, guys, I gotta run out and pay a bill. You wanna keep going? I'll let you go.
AKA he's going across the border again. All right, go ahead.
All
Yeah,
right.
that's-
Well, Joe emailed me. He wants one now.
fucking little border
Yeah.
hopper, you.
Glad I don't know your email.
Yeah, I think one of the customers that comes and stops at Walgreens on a regular, he was telling me he had a couple buddies that are in the HVAC business or whatever, and said that they were looking for work or whatever. So I guess he said he would let me know if something opens up.
Or like I said, go look at getting a job like I got. I mean, it's something.
Like a county.
You're
like
gonna, yeah, you're probably gonna start off at the same amount you're making now, but it's a county job at the end of the day, and you're gonna make more. You're gonna have way better benefits and shit.
What happens during school holidays? Do you get holidays as well, or do you get given something else to do?
No, you're just off when the kids are off. But during the summertime, so like because the kids are out for 2.5 months during the summer, what you do is they'll take a small percentage. You can set it up to where they'll take a small percentage of your check every month, and they'll put it aside for you in a separate account. And then what they'll do is at the end of the year, that whatever amount of money you have, they'll take that and they'll split it evenly between that 2.5 months. So you're still getting some kind of income coming in. You know what I'm
All
saying?
right, so it's unpaid holiday basically.
Right, yeah, you don't get paid unfortunately for that stuff. I don't know about like the holidays, like if it's an official holiday off, I'm not entirely sure. But I know like
Probably get
summer
paid for
break
that.
now. I don't think summer break you do though. I don't honestly, I don't know. I have to wait till I get in there and I can let you guys know later, but
Wait, where does Randy work again? I forgot because he said that
I'm pretty sure he works at like a strip club or something.
a strip club.
Yeah.
He works in, I think, making components for the avionics industry or something.
He said that there was a few locations in Florida and Tampa area. That he's the longest tenured employee besides 2 floor managers. He's been there longer than the GM, ops manager, and all the office workers.
Look, Randy, you don't have to get all like fancy floor managers at a strip club, GM. But it's called a bouncers and the pimp. Okay, let's make it all professional.
Well, he was saying the other day that his company's getting some drones in or something to do inspections on aircraft, and they want him to sort out flying them.
Oh, he's inspecting the private jet where he takes girls around.
Magic Mike's Muscle Mania.
I'm telling you, Randy, I was going to be in that movie, but I was out doing Channing Tatum, so they were like, you got to go. I was like, all right. They're like, you look too much, you look better than him, and you can't have that on on screen, paying this man millions. We need him to shine.
No, that was Nemo.
Yeah, I reckon that's what Paul's doing. You know, he's just getting some practice in to become a bootlegger.
That's what I'm thinking, dude. He's a little border hopper now. He's out there he's going across the border, buying all the shit so he can resell it. Actually, to tell you the truth though, if he was doing it the other way around, he would actually be making money. Because the upsell on like I was talking about the new PS5 Pro yesterday, right? It's $700 in the US. In Canada, it's almost $1,000 after taxes and everything, and the import fees and everything. It's a little over $1,000. So if he was buying
$1,000
$1,000
US,
US, yeah.
Canadian. Yeah.
No, it's $1,000. I think that was $1,000 Canadian. But like I said, so some of the stuff over here is it's the same way with Australia. We could pay $100 here for an item.
Yeah.
But in Canada and Australia, it could be $350. And even if you do the adjustment, that's still way over what they would pay if they were just paying the same as us in their money.
Yeah.
So if he was doing it the other way around, taking shit up to Canada, he'd be making some money. He could be selling shit for just a little bit more than what he paid for it. They'd be getting a deal and he'd be making a little bit of a profit.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a bit dearer over here on some things as well. Like the Neo. The Neo over there is 199 on its own. And here it's it's £169, which is about $220.
Guess how much a PS5 Pro is retailing in the UK for?
I don't know.
£800, more than what it's going to be in the US. It's fucking crazy, dude. It's borderline pushing. If you take and build a $700-800 PC, it will outperform that PS5 Pro in every way. So why the fuck are you going to go buy a $700 gaming system?
Yeah. And
this is where J2 Cents and like some ordinary gamer was talking. Like the whole point of consoles was to get entry level into gaming without breaking the bank. But now Sony is wanting to come out with this overly expensive ass console that provides barely any performance boost over the original, and yet they're charging $300 more for it. For what? At that point, they were like, you might as well just buy a PC. Like some ordinary gamer did $1,000 budget because he lives up in Canada, and he went to PCpickers.com and he picked all the parts to build a PC within $1,000 range. And dude, it will blow a PS5 out the water. I don't give a shit if you put Pro on the side of it or not. It's going to blow that PS5 out the water in performance. And you can overclock everything if you want to.
Yeah. £800 is $1,052.
Yeah, it's fucking absolutely insane. Like, why would you pay that much for? And that's the thing, is a computer can do so much more than just game. Where a gaming system is just strictly for gaming. That's it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Kenny's daughter was just in a movie.
No. Put the disclaimer up, Joe.
It's up. It's always up. I'm smart. I'm not. I know better.
What's up, Sarah?
Exactly, Randy. You can do way more.
Hey, Sarah.
See, and that's like, that's like people trying to justify somebody spending $1,200 or $1,400 on a cell phone. One, I promise you, if you go from a cheap ass $200 cell phone and you go to one of the top tier flagship phones like a Samsung or an Apple, dude, you're going to notice a vast difference in performance, quality, how responsive the phone is, how quick the phone is to download and like to send and receive information is 10 times faster. But you can justify that price because look how much people use their phones every day for everything. They're taking pictures, they're on Facebook, they're on YouTube, they're surfing the internet, they're calling people, texting people. You're getting so much use out of that cell phone that at the end of the day, it justifies that price, especially if you get at least 2 years out of it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've got Office Suite on my iPhone, which means I've got a word processor and a spreadsheet there as well.
Right. And like I laugh at people that say, "Oh, I've never spent more than, $150 on a phone." I'm like, "Well, you haven't lived then." Because I promise you, if you go to a premium phone, you're never going to want to go back to those cheap phones again. I'm telling you. There's nothing will compare to like an S23 or an S22 or an S24 or even an iPhone Pro, It just the way that how fast they're responsive, how quick it is. Like my old phone that I had before my S22, I had it for like 2 weeks and got rid of it because it was just annoying the shit out of me. It was like a $200 TCL phone. And when I would go to download like a 10-minute video onto that phone, it was so fucking slow, dude. Just to download a 10-minute video would take me like an hour on that phone. My Samsung S22, I can put it down and do a 30-minute video and download it from my computer to my phone in the matter of 2 minutes, a 30-minute video. Like that's just one example of how quick and responsive the higher end phones are and what they can do.
Yeah.
It's worth it at the end of the day, especially like I said, if you get a minimum 2 to 3 years out of a phone. I'm telling you, Randy, if you ever go to an expensive phone, you're never going to want to go back to a cheap one.
Where is the song taking place?
Another one is just startup. Yeah, I would definitely get a Galaxy S24 or S25 Ultra. The Ultras are really nice. I mean, yeah, just even the startup on a phone, an expensive phone, they're really quick. Where a cheap phone can sometimes take like a minute and a half to completely boot up, which is really annoying.
Oh, I just got a text message from DPD saying they got my DJI UK parcel and it's on its way.
Nice.
Is that for the controller replacement?
Yeah. And it's only coming from Nottingham. That's only about 120 miles away, something like that.
But is it going to make it there? Robin may stop it.
Yeah. It might arrive tomorrow. It might arrive Sunday because they work Sundays, I think.
I want you to go over there and pick it up yourself, personally.
How, TJ?
I don't know. Do you drive?
No.
He's using a magnifying glass to read the chat. I hope he's not getting behind you. No offense, Mark. But...
Yeah.
For some weird reason, I thought you drove for some weird reason. I don't know why.
I passed my driving test in 1978.
Lean forward, DJ.
I passed my motorbike test in 1997 and then stopped driving in 2000.
Yeah, I thought you had, I don't know, for some crazy reason, I thought you had a car.
I have got a car.
Oh, you just don't drive?
Yeah, Kate drives it. Even got to give the driver a PIN number when he delivers it.
Forward, TJ. Come here. Come here. Come here, forward.
What was that?
Ain't showing whatever it was.
I don't know why it's doing that.
Who's Remy? Oh, wait. Remy truck will park itself.
I start playing this for TJ every time he asks a question like that.
I didn't see it. You're not showing.
I'm not showing anything. It was just audio. Just slapping audio.
I was looking for one where say lean forward and slap him. I was gonna put it on.
That's funny. Joe, what does your shirt say? Normal isn't coming back. Jesus something something.
But Jesus is.
Oh, there you go. No, what is normal? I think there's a such thing as normal.
Bring people there's no real normal person, I guess.
Yeah.
The only time you could really use acting like a normal person that sounds, I guess, I don't know, it would be like if you're describing somebody, it's like a serial killer or something.
Yeah.
You'd be like,
Paul
yeah,
said
that's not a normal
he's gonna pay a
person.
bill, right? Yeah, out there flying that ship.
I think I've heard that one before.
Him in another box.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Look for his truck. We'll see if his truck's there.
I can see his truck going across the bridge in a minute.
I'm
telling you, that's why he went to go buy that controller yesterday. I guarantee he was planning on going and getting another one of those drones. And then he realized he fucked up when he showed us the controller and it was the wrong one. He wasn't buying it to replace the other controller he had.
Yeah, I know.
He was buying it because he didn't want to fly a Neo with the phone.
And
How
then
much did he
he's
pay
saying
for
that
that?
his controller, $120.
You what? Do you know how
well,
much they're going? Them smart controllers are going for like £450 minimum in the UK.
Yeah.
But used?
Yeah. Brand new, they're 600 still.
You what now, Joe?
He's looking at it, right? And he says, yeah, it flies to Air 2S and all of these. He's thinking, and he needs to understand this. It's not going to fly his drones. Because he's saying the one I gave him will be the one to fly his drones. He's going to have to get used to it.
Yeah, the RC2 won't fly his Air 2S.
Oh, if he's got to have 1,000 nits, he's going to have to go buy the RC Pro.
Well, and the thing is, though, is I don't think that's why he was trying to buy that. I think he really was going to go get another Neo.
So that's what he said.
I'm pretty sure that's why he tried buying that other smart controller, because he thought it was the RCN2 or whatever. He thought it was the second version because that's what you guys told him he had to have in order to fly it with the smart controller. And so he thought he was buying that one.
Yeah, just because it had the two antennas. But the old controllers are darker grey than the new RC2. The RC2s are really light grey.
But if he can't, the thing is if he's not going to fly the one that Joe sent him, why would you buy the other one's just going to have, it's pretty much the
it's exactly the same. It's just
that is, Randy.
Just got external antennas and 04. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not like he's really going to like it any better. It's not like that's an upgrade like in nits or anything on the screen, so.
His main thing about it wasn't so much the actual brightness on the screen, although that's what he kept saying. It was because the old smart controller is slightly chunkier, so it fits in his hand better.
I just wouldn't want to be using a controller that old to fly newer drones. Like, I don't give a shit if it's compatible. They say it's compatible or not. Because like I said, if you look at the chipset of the original smart controller, that chipset was already 2 to 3 years old before they even started selling the controller. And then that controller's already like 6 or 7 years old.
Yeah.
So technically that chipset's like almost 10 years old.
I mean, the RC that he's got that he doesn't use, that's nice. I mean, that does fly the Air 2S. I fly mine with it, as well as my Mini 3 Pro. But the RC2 that flies the Mini 4 Pro and the Air 3 has a faster chipset in it and more processing power. So it is actually quicker to respond.
And not to mention the old smart controller didn't even have, it was known to have worse range than using a standard DJI controller, like one of the basic controllers that you put your phone in. Those
Oh,
had
yeah,
better
I mean,
range.
If you
And
watch the reviewers, I mean, even Marcus doesn't like the old smart controller.
But like Randy said, it was laggy as shit. Yeah. But like I said, that was one complaint people used to complain about with the old smart controller, was that they could take that old smart controller, take the drone out, say 2,000 feet, and they'd start having disconnection issues. But then they could hook up the standard controller with your cell phone, and they could go 5,000-6,000 feet, no problem. Wouldn't have any issues. Like just the connection wasn't very good on those either. The range wasn't very good. So that's probably why he's had so many disconnection issues. Especially when you're flying around a big metal bridge and all them ships and radar and all that crap those ships are throwing off. Yeah, it's probably why he's lost so many drones in the water down there. But
Could be.
we can only convince somebody how to do it. I mean, you can only say it so many times, is they're going to do what they want to do at the end of the day.
Yep.
Hey, Justin, why do your butt cheeks go
No,
like this?
we already know this one.
You
You told us the
already
other day.
told us that one.
You got to come up with a new one. You told us that the other day.
No, I don't think. Oh yeah, I think I did
you
say
did.
that one.
You told us when you were in the car eating
Yeah,
your
'cause we
lunch
were
the
going.
other day.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. I forgot. That was pretty funny.
Yeah,
The Zollheim Cup is just down the road from Jason. It's in Gainsborough. No, Gainesville.
and
Virginia.
I never used one, Randy. I just remember a lot of people 3-4 years ago when I came into the community were always complaining about that fucking controller. There were some people that tried to defend it, and there was a lot of people that complained about it. But you also got to remember too, like that newer controller is probably bright enough, but at the end of the day, that could be just Paul's vision. It just isn't great anymore. You know, he for a long time he was. I mean, look how long he went before he got new glasses. That last pair of glasses he had was like what, 10 years old or something. He said.
Randy.
Yeah.
Older in the crust in your undies.
Like you're supposed to get an eye exam like every. I think your maximum you're supposed to go is like 2 years. Paul didn't get his eyes checked for almost a decade, which means that he probably wasn't seeing it. You know what I'm saying? Like that could be it too. Is just his vision is getting crappier over the years.
I don't know. I think he needs to eat more carrots. I eat my carrots all the time.
Just like his hearing, half the time he says my mic's real low and nobody can hear me, but then everybody else on the panel's like, I can hear you just fine.
Yeah.
What you
He
say?
says that all the time. Oh my God, shut up.
Loki, stop. They're downstairs cutting something out. I guess the sheetrock sounds like a dentist drill.
Were they like doing remodeling or something?
No, they got a foot and a half of water downstairs, so they're taking everything out. Stop.
So what they do is they go around the edge of the walls and they have to cut all that wet out, like the wet drywall and everything out, and then they'll dry it all out, get it all nice and dry, and then they'll re-sheetrock the bottom. Well, they only do the bottom part where it got wet. They'll cut a little bit above where it got wet at. And they'll go along all the edges of the walls through the whole apartment. And then they'll dry it out. They'll probably put heaters or something in there the way they choose to dry it out. They'll dry the apartment out real good, and then they'll go along the edges of the wall and re-sheetrock all the bottom part all the way around.
Concrete floors as well, so there was nowhere for the water to escape.
And I'm sure they're probably not down there. I don't know. Are the neighbors still in their house or apartment or
No,
no?
they gave them vouchers for a hotel. So they're covering their hotel.
Because I can almost guarantee you could probably see into the neighbor's apartment. The ones that are probably cutting right through the walls into all the other apartments too.
Yeah.
I bet if you walked in there, there's probably a couple of feet of wall cut all the way around the edge. You probably see right through all the apartments.
They got let's see, they got 4, 8. No, they got 4. The other side didn't get it. Got 4,
Well, it depends.
16 apartments. 16 apartments got flooded.
It depends if it got through the walls. Even though the other side didn't get actually flooded, it could have leaked through and got the walls wet.
So you might have 18 apartments. The other 2 on the other side at a back-to-back may have got it.
It's possible it didn't come all the way through the wall, but I'm wondering if it soaked the wall on the other side. But even then, that's, you know, you got to go around and cut all that bottom wall out of all those, replace all the insulation, any electrical. I mean, that's what's going to take, because I'm sure they got to replace plugs.
Well, last time when they came in, they moved the electrical up. I remember that.
If they were smart, they'd move those plugs about 2 or 3 feet off the ground. That way they don't have to redo it every fucking time. Because electrical work, that sort gets expensive. You have to have an
Why you
electrician
think I'm in
come
the second floor?
Yeah, our main sockets have got to be about a foot off the ground to avoid getting hit by vacuum cleaners.
Well, ours are normally.
That was the thing that caused, because they used to be in the skirting board right down at the bottom, and people used to smash them with their vacuum cleaners when they bumped into them.
Yeah, our plugs in most houses on average are about 6 to 8 inches up off the ground. But in his case, they always get at least, you know, a foot to 3 feet of water in the apartment. So you'd want to get it up above where you normally the water line would be. That way you wouldn't have to fucking rewire all that shit every time. Like I said, to have an electrician come in and redo 18 apartments, oh, that's a lot of money right there.
Why don't they use the easy way and build a wall between the drainage ditch and the car park to try and keep the water out?
Yeah, you'd think so, as many times as that place is flooded.
Yeah.
You think they would have tried to
be a
figure
cheaper
something out.
option in the long run.
Yeah, that'd rip up the parking lot and fucking raise it a couple feet, 3 or 4 feet.
Yeah.
Like, bring in a shit ton of dirt and raise that bitch. Like, you would think they would do that with any of the stuff there, you know, instead of just building it on the land that it's on. Like, before you build anything, come in and raise the ground up, you know, 5 or 6 feet above where it was at. Get it up a little bit higher and then build that up and then build retaining walls around that. And you'd have less of a chance of shit fucking flooding. Because like I said, if you look at the video Joe did, some of the houses, you can see where they have done that. They brought up their land, their property underneath the house and then put the house on stilts above that. And you could see around the property that was under the house didn't have any water. All the water was just around it because they brought that part of the property up higher than the land around it.
Yeah.
And that's a good way to save your vehicle too, because if your house is on stilts and you're parking your car underneath, if you raise that land up and get it way above where the water line's usually at, then your car might still be sitting there while there's water all around your house at the end of the day. You don't have to worry about your car getting all fucked up. You might be trapped in there for a couple days, but at least your car wouldn't be all fucking underwater. Although at the end of the day, these people choose to live in these areas that are known to have that happen. So can only do so much. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, there's people that live in Tornado Alley that get hit by tornadoes all the time and they just rebuild and still live there. So,
yeah. I mean, over here where the rivers are likely to flow, they have floodplains, so they don't build on them. In fact, the River Mersey that goes through Manchester, all along the floodplain of the Mersey, all you'll see is like 6 golf courses because it doesn't matter whether they go underwater or not.
Like I feel bad for these people when this stuff happens, but at the same time, you're choosing to live there. So at the end of the
Yep.
day, I can only feel so bad because it's like you don't have to live in an area that's that prone to that happening. Like you could live somewhere and move a little bit, farther away or whatever.
Yeah, they also have those some houses. They have those the underground where the things they open up like that, the underground things underneath their houses.
Oh, you talking about the basements?
Yeah, like the basement. Like
Slap them.
Like I would, like if I was prone to, if we were that bad, like in my area, we don't flood like that. But if it was an issue of, but if we flooded like Joe did all the time, I couldn't live here. That would annoy the living shit out of me. I'd have to move somewhere
I'm
else.
at the point where it's just, this is the deal. It's convenient. I can move the car up front. I'll tell you what, from now on, I'm just going to park up by the office because that's the highest point in the place. I'll just park up there in the handicap spot up there when I know it's going to do that. I'll just walk 100 yards, But I don't have to worry about the water getting in my place. The bottom line is it's convenient. I've been here. I don't have to go through all the shit of moving and everything. When I move the next time, it's going to be the last time.
No, I understand. I'm just saying, like, for me personally, if I had to deal with that all the time, I don't know if I could handle that. I would just, because especially if I was living in one of those bottom apartments, because I wouldn't want my shit getting damaged every time a fucking just bad storm comes through, not even a hurricane. Because sometimes you just get a bad storm that drops a lot of water and you guys get flooded. Like I would really hate for my shit to get ruined every fucking time a storm came through.
Yeah,
Like,
that would be horrible.
Obviously, if you had insurance, you could get it replaced.
Not just hurricanes. We get a good storm come through here.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I just said. Yeah, not even hurricanes. You guys will just get a bad regular storm and you guys will get flooded. I felt bad for those people in the bottom apartments constantly, and it doesn't seem like your apartment complex is doing anything to try to fix that.
Well, this is the deal. And like I said, I'm gonna go talk to the mayor because they got an open thing every Tuesday. So next Tuesday, I'm gonna go to the mayor's office, and I'm gonna bring him video and show him the inside of this, because I got the Avada footage of that back there, to show him how much water's in there and how much it could be widened, because you can see where the bank's here and the bank's here, but all of this area here is all grown in now. If they come in with a backhoe and they come in with a backhoe and clean it all out, all that water stays there. It doesn't come to us.
Well, and the thing is like, I can't believe insurance companies are even still insuring that a complex. Because if I was the insurance company, no, that's what I'm saying. If I was the insurance company, I'd be like, look, like you guys have done nothing to try to fix this. We're not going to keep paying. I'd fucking canceled their policy a long time ago.
Well,
it's like
a flood policy is different. Flood is insured by the federal government.
That's just nuts, though. And then there's no incentive to fix the issue, which is stupid. Because I guarantee
the front building's flood and the back building's flood.
So I guarantee if the insurance company was having to pay that, they would have only dealt with that once or twice. And they'd been like, all right, you guys either fix the issue or we're not insuring you. But if the federal government's paying for it, then they're never going to fucking fix it. Unless enough of you guys complain about it. That's fucking ridiculous, dude. Like, why even deal with that every time? Wouldn't you rather just not have to go through the hassle of having your tenants and hotels and all that shit every single time something like that happens? Unless they're just getting some kind of kickback for that. I could see why they would do it. Now I could see why they would be doing it. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. Like, why would you want to deal with that as a property manager or as a company every fucking time or just a regular bad storm comes through? Fucking stupid.
I mean, could anything happen to your house if you actually built it on some rocks?
What do you mean built it on rocks?
Because Randy was like, wise was the man who built his house upon the rock.
That's a old Bible proverb, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it gives it a good foundation, and it usually is higher than where the water would get to. So
Well, if you take, like I said too, if you're planning on building, the smart thing would be is to bring your property above where the water line's usually at. Try to build your property, especially if you're building a house there. Have a company come in and dude, fucking, if you have to put your house up on a big ass mound, have them put that bitch 15 feet above the rest of the properties. That's what I'd do. I'd bring it up so high that you wouldn't even have a chance of water cresting over it. Then you put your house up on stilts about 10 feet above that, 10, 15 feet above that, and you'd be sitting golden during a hurricane or a bad storm.
yeah, but you'd have to make sure that the water didn't flow past the mound or it'd just wear it down.
Right, but you build a actual retaining wall around it and everything. Make sure you're building it correctly and all that. You got to use the right type of dirt and all that.
You don't build on a floodplain. Oh, right, Jonathan, right.
I mean, if anybody has the money, you can build a house that could withstand a category 5 if you have the money. It's not.
Dude,
It's really not that.
I would just build a house out of metal or whatever.
Dude, if I had the money right now, I could have a company come in and build me a concrete reinforced dome that I could sit through a category 5 without even sweating.
Seriously,
Just right over me.
building a house out of metal would not be a good idea in an electrical storm.
That's what it looked like in the back
Oh, goodness.
at midnight.
Wow, that's crazy.
And that's back here. That's the canal right there that came in. And that was at midnight, and it got higher than that. Yeah, so apparently the apartments on the other side probably got it too. But that canal right there, if they would just dig that as wide as it's supposed to be, all this water stays up in there. What it does, it goes down the canal, then it goes into another canal, and it's bottleneck. They had a program years ago. They widened it, and they're supposed to put culverts in, but they were going to do everything underground, and they just stopped.
Wow.
So it was all supposed to be underground.
You don't have to really worry about electrical though during a hurricane because you don't actually get lightning coming out of it.
Yeah, but any electrical storm, if it's made out of metal, your house is going to get hit by lightning, isn't it?
Is
Well,
that
not
the right
during-
one, Joe?
Well, I mean,
That's
that's
the right one.
possible, but if you have your house grounded correctly and everything,
That's the right
with
one.
the right grounding.
Mm.
They're usually,
I mean,
they're
you're
usually
just as-
listed in eBay for like $350 to $375.
But during a hurricane, there's actually no lightning that actually comes to the ground. It's just all in the clouds. It stays up in the.
Mm.
I didn't know that until the first one I went through. I assumed that just lightning would be striking everywhere, and I was told no. And it doesn't.
The weirdest
actually-
part about lightning is, although it looks like it comes from the sky downwards, the electrical current actually travels from the earth upwards.
Yeah, if you look at like real slow-mo video of
What do you think? What do you think, Joe? Should I buy it now?
buy what?
What are you going to use it with?
I don't know.
What
It
do
won't
you?
work
You have
with
nothing.
any.
You don't have a drone to use it with.
If it's an RC2, you haven't got anything that will work with that at the moment,
At the moment.
and isn't
Well, you
likely
know what that
to
means.
work. Isn't likely to work with it in the future either.
Dude, if you're gonna do that, you might as well just buy a bundle with the drone that it comes with.
They're not going to make the Air 2S compatible with the RC2.
Go ahead and get you an
Yeah,
Air 3.
2S will never work with that.
Yeah, tell them go ahead and get an Air 3.
Yeah, but a Neo would work with that.
But you haven't got a Neo, and you don't like flying the Neo.
That's not a bad price though for an RC2.
Oh, it's a great
That's not
price.
bad.
All the other ones
Yeah,
on
another-
eBay, they want like anywhere from 450 up.
Yeah, you might as well just buy like an Air 3 bundle or something.
But float on by morning.
Well, it'll always be worth that $230.
Jonathan, you're gonna have to get a big old mattress to hold all that.
To
Don't
be
you
honest
think?
with you, it sounds too cheap.
Joe, should I buy it, Joe?
Hey, they're working downstairs. Stop
Joe,
walking.
Joe always tells me yes.
Well,
No. I hate when I put a video up and I look at it and I'm not paying attention to it, and I got a mistake in it.
The Neo comes out next month, and that's only $189, right?
With one battery,
199.
199, one battery. You got to charge it in the drone, and it gives you 10 minutes of flight time.
if you're gonna spend 200 on that, you might as, because what was the Flymore kit was only another what, $70?
About $269.
Yeah. If you spend the extra 60 or $70, you might as well just spend that.
What
'cause
I
you
was
get
thinking,
two
if I
extra
bought this
batteries.
now and then waited and buy the Neo later,
You wouldn't even get the two batteries for the extra $70.
Yeah, you get the charger and the batteries and everything for like it's $279, $289. I can't remember what it was.
Two batteries,
but
two batteries and the charger is £100 over here,
no, you get the
Yeah.
extra batteries, so you
which
can't
would
buy.
be about $130 over there.
you
Yeah, the
can't-
only thing different, you're not going to get that stupid controller.
Yeah.
With it.
Yeah, the
And
Flymore
it's like
kit in the
$269.
US isn't going to get the RCN3 with it.
yeah, but I mean, if you bought all that shit separately, it's probably gonna cost you more than what it would be just to
Yeah, it
buy
would
the
cost
kit
more.
altogether.
Yeah.
That's why they offer those bundles, because it's they're trying to entice you instead of you buying it all separately. Because if you bought all that shit separately, the extra two batteries, the battery charger, and you have to include the controller because the controller comes with the bundle,
Looking okay.
you'd be looking at probably over $100 more.
Looking okay.
Well, it is. It's £100 just for the two batteries and the charger, so that's $130.
Right. You're better off just buying, because you can always throw that RNC in 3 or whatever it is, that you could always throw that like on eBay and try to get rid of it, or on Facebook Marketplace. See if somebody would throw you a little bit of money for it. So
Yeah, but the trouble is that the RCN3 at the moment is only going to work with the Mini 4 Pro, the Air 3, and the Neo.
right, but if you want to cover some of the costs of the Neo, you could throw it on there and probably try to sell for half of what it is new.
With tax, it'd be 220.47. Joe, buy it, right?
If you can find anybody that actually
That's,
wants to.
I'm not spending your money.
Do what you want, Paul.
How much money's in your bank account, Paul?
Randy said
And how
save
much
your money,
have you
get
got
it.
to pay in bills for the rest of the month?
Randy said
Wait.
save your money, get the Air 3 or the
Including-
Avata 2.
Yeah, wait and get the Air 3S. And then you got an Air 3S is better than the Air 2S with the new controller.
He won't fly the Avata, Randy. He doesn't use goggles.
No.
He wouldn't fly that drone, trust me.
Now, if you could fly the Avata 2 with the with the RC2, that would be nice.
I don't care to ever own a Nevada. That's something to think about, I guess.
I like how they put in the title genuine
Yeah.
RCN2.
Yeah, Yeah,
or RC2. It's like, well, is there an ungenuine one? Is there like an off-brand one?
fake. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, why do you got to put genuine in the title? Like, there's only one version of that controller.
To me, that seems like a pretty good buy, though.
Yeah, it seems like a pretty good bye-bye to $200 odd. Yeah.
Yeah, total
Well,
out
if
the
you
door, including shipped here, $220 US.
I mean, if you got it through eBay, I guess you would be covered if it was a scam. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't.
you have an eBay guarantee. And
Yeah,
if
if
you
they
pay
got
for it with PayPal, you can claim on there as well. But yeah, the RC2 selling for between 250 quid and I think £306 is the dearest one I've seen on eBay.
Now, I'll show
Well,
you guys. I'll show you guys a scam. Okay, are you ready?
I would say the only reason they're offering the standard controller with that drone, Randy, is because
Maybe
they
refurbished.
because they're expecting people to use their phones more to fly it than an actual smart controller. Because it's more geared towards your phone, like running off your phone.
There's a scam right there.
Yeah.
$59.99.
How can you tell the difference between? Well, yeah, I guess you could. I guess you could tell because there's no way
That's
that
the
controllers
price.
like.
The only way you
Yeah.
get a controller like that for that price is if it was broken and they put parts only or something. You might be able to get one that cheap.
Yeah.
But they would have to have that in the description that it was broken and it's parts only. Because that's why you got to be careful on eBay, because sometimes you will find really good deals that are legit like that. But it will say in the listing, parts only, and some people don't read that. And then they buy it and get it and realize it's broken. And then they end up with a paperweight.
Mm. Yeah.
But if you know what you're doing and you know how to fix them, if it, that's a good price for somebody that knows what they're doing.
Yeah, like that Mini 4 Pro I just bought. That was listed as parts only, not working.
That's all to make money, Randy, at the end of the day. I mean, like I said, that's more of a social media drone anyway. Honestly, I wouldn't even want a controller with that drone. I'd rather just use the phone. Because I've flown the Tello with the phone and it flies just fine and it's not a pain in the ass at all. Very responsive, not laggy at all. And that's 4 or 5 years old. So yeah, this is pretty much an updated Tello at the end of the day. I would rather just have to use my phone. Think about it. A drone that size, dude, you could throw literally in your, if you're a girl, you could throw it in your purse, pop it out, turn your cell phone on. You don't got to drag a bunch of shit with you. You just use your cell phone. You don't have to have a controller and cables and all that bullshit.
Don't even need to use your phone in most cases.
Yeah, it'll just automatically do it on its own.
Yeah.
But if you just want to whip it around the park or something, dude, your phone will work just fine. You don't really need a controller.
I don't think
Actually,
that's a
in all
wise
the
thing whipping it
reviews
around the
that I've
park.
seen, and I've not watched a lot of them really, to be honest, but nobody's actually controlled it with the phone. They've all done it with the RCN3.
It's probably I think it's the range, Randy, is what's the difference. Because technically that drone has a 9-kilometer range, apparently. Whether you can actually get that far with it is another story. I'm sure Dustin Dunhill will be coming out with a video soon if he hasn't already. Where he's took it out like 3 miles and lost it in the middle of the desert somewhere.
Hey, Justin, it's not wise to whip it around in the park.
Especially when you're out
if
in
you
the
whip
park.
it around for 3 miles.
I said
Out in-
whipping
out in
it
the park-
around.
out
I
in the
didn't say
park,
whipping it out.
around.
I didn't say whipping it out.
Whipping it out.
But I'm just saying, to me, a drone what that drone does, I think that it's more convenient just to use your phone. And you take the drone with you. You got your cell phone, throw it in the air, and you're off doing your thing. You don't have to have a controller and, like I said, cables and all that extra shit. You don't have to drag all that stuff. To me, it's more convenient just to use your cell phone. Like I said, if you've ever flown the Tello with your cell phone, it's super responsive. It's not hard to fly. It's not difficult at all to fly with your cell phone. Super easy. You don't have a bunch of latency issues, nothing. So I would, like I said, at the end of the day, I'd rather just use that.
But doesn't that use its own separate app for flying it? It doesn't use the Fly app, does it?
No, it doesn't use the Fly app, but yeah, it's got its own Tello app. But like I
Because
said,
the Neo uses the Fly app, and there's no joysticks on that.
What do you mean there's no joysticks on that?
There's no
They're on,
joystick on the screen of the Fly app.
there is once you go into the Neo on the Fly app.
Are
There's
there?
onboard, yeah, there's on-screen joysticks you control. Sean showed them to us the other day.
All
So
right.
when you go
Oh.
when you go into the app, when you go into the Fly app and you pick the Neo to fly it, there would be onboard joysticks on the screen to control it.
Oh. That's all right then.
Right, and that's a drone that you're not going to take. I mean, if you had any bit of sense in your head, you wouldn't take that thing more than a couple 100 yards from you at a time anyway.
I don't think
It's
we
not
should
a
take
dr-
even that far, to be honest.
Well, that's just a couple football fields. I'd go that far, but I wouldn't definitely wouldn't be
hundreds.
taking a half a mile over the water at 200 feet. You know.
Yeah. Well, you got to remember it's only got like a 12-minute flight time, so it ain't going to get that far.
And the thing is it's not really an FPV drone. It's not really it's more of like a social media camera type drone is the way I'd classify it.
Oh yeah.
I would see somebody that's vlogging using that for taking selfies, you know, in front of the lake, a little pan. It's not really designed. It's not an FPV drone technically.
It
I
has
wouldn't even.
decent tracking apparently.
I wouldn't even say it's a. Yeah, because it's so automated. It doesn't really make it a beginner drone. It's just I think it's marketed towards a certain type of person.
Yeah.
I think it would be great for somebody that's doing Instagram vlogging or Instagram reels and it just wants a quick pan while they're standing in front of a lake or something.
Are you talking about the Neo?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's for. That's 100% where it's aimed.
It's just like the Instagram drone that came out a couple of years ago. Obviously, that drone was a piece of shit.
So did
When
you?
was that?
Do what, Donald?
Which,
Go ahead.
yeah, which drone was that, Justin? The one that you were just talking
It
about?
was
The one
just
that,
it was a drone that Instagram had made and they marketed under their name.
Yeah, and it's
This
just like that little
selfie
square,
drone.
this little square cage one that folded. It's just like that one too. You put it up, take a picture, and put it down.
Yeah.
So Justin, did you hear back from your job?
Yeah, I just am waiting for the fingerprints to come back.
Is that
They
so
had
they can
to-
identify your body?
I had to go to the sheriff's office yesterday and take my fingerprints.
How much are they paying to get shot these days?
It's like 50 grand for a big toe. Yeah, the whole list.
I used to, on the big long drives at the old company I worked at, I used to play that game in my head like, okay, if I had to lose a body part, if a car swerved over and I figured out the body part that I wouldn't mind, well, I'd mind, but still, the payout might be worth it, is to lose my left leg from just below the knee down. Well, of course.
Fingerprint.
So just lose this part of my leg down because it was a pretty good
That was a
payout.
copy of
It was a great payout, and I wouldn't even get a one of those realistic legs. I would just get a pig leg, like a pirate. I'd have my Halloween costume settled for the rest of my life.
Yeah, and you could still drive because you don't need your left leg in an automatic.
I'd drive a standard, so I'd have to figure out something with that buggy. But I could put if I had a peg leg from that far down, I still have control over the leg, and I could put a cup on the clutch pedal to hold the peg. I thought it out. You know, you drive and you play those games in your head, or I do.
Yeah. Well,
So,
I've lost,
Justin, what do you think it'll be? You think it'll be a rifle or a pistol?
I've lost a toe on my left leg.
I'm guessing it'll be a pistol because that you can kids can hide a pistol in their backpack.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I'm not even commenting on it.
Yeah, we were just imagining if TJ went for the same kind of job.
Yeah, I
Like I
think
said, I could see the kids picking on TJ. Him in the back, huddled
Just
up
to
in the corner.
Just to make him laugh.
Well,
I could see
Justin
him.
yesterday was bragging about being scary to a 12-year-old, but how scary is he to a 12-year-old with a pistol?
I'll take it from him and beat him with it is what I'll do.
Yeah, I'd ask for a bulletproof vest in your uniform.
Technically, it wouldn't be
What
illegal to
I
wear one.
can't understand, he's gonna be a bus monitor, right?
What, you're not allowed to wear bulletproof vests?
Yeah, you
As
can
a
wear
bus,
bulletproof
as
vests.
a bus monitor, I can't figure out, Don,
Florida, I can carry a gun without any paperwork on me.
he's gotta go to 2
My
weeks
pocket.
training for a bus monitor.
Okay.
No, I
yeah.
don't. 2 weeks. I didn't say that.
Well,
It's only a day class.
Oh,
It's not 2 weeks. Well, you do a week's worth of like on the bus training with the bus driver, but
see, you can wear your bulletproof vest, but you better get yourself a Kevlar helmet too, because that'd be the first target is that big old melon.
Kevlar balaclava.
It's like shoot him in the chest or in his big stupid face.
he looked like he was in a spacesuit.
That's funny.
Full Batman suit.
What is this noise for?
Wait. Now I remember where I know you're from, Donald. Never Land.
Everybody get the board.
I guess we're supposed to. Yeah. Yeah, we grew. You know, Jonathan, we talk about Never Land, but you know, Gen X, we made a vow. We weren't ever going to get old. We were going to just be young and then die. We weren't going to ever go through the process of getting old, and we all broke our promises. What the hell?
Yeah.
well, that's the same thing. The hippie generation, like,
But then again, Captain Hook had 2 legs, didn't he? And only one
Yeah,
hand.
he had one. He had 2 legs.
Yeah.
didn't half the hippie generation end up becoming lawyers?
Yeah. They became the yuppies. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Oh. I need to get batteries charged up and get loaded. I got to leave the house at 5:30 in the morning.
Oh.
Oh,
what
yeah,
are you
it's
doing?
Saturday, isn't it?
I'm driving up to Springfield, Missouri to do a shoot.
Oh, there you go.
He's going.
It's nice,
taking
no
a
edit. I
video
just
with-
hand off footage, so
He's going taking a video of The Simpsons.
Oh yeah, taking a video of The Simpsons.
they're
You
not
never-
Springfield, Missouri.
I don't think they ever actually admitted which Springfield it was because there's like
Well, I know it
30
wasn't
of
Springfield, Missouri, because we don't have a nuclear plant there.
There's all kinds of like conspiracies around which Springfield it was because there's like 30 something states that have a Springfield in it, and that was the reason why he chose that was because
Yeah.
there was no way of ever actually telling which Springfield it was. But they've had like they have had made certain hints over the years that made people think it was certain ones, but I don't think they've ever actually claimed one.
Yeah, I've got busy today. I have a swing set arriving, and then we'll be maybe putting it together this afternoon.
Oh,
Oh,
there
for the
you go.
bedroom?
No,
Did you order a proper wooden one, or is
screw
it
that.
one
We
of
already got one in the bedroom. We're getting this one for the living room for company.
For company.
How big is the swing set?
I don't know. My wife ordered it.
Did you get it off Amazon?
I don't know.
Is it
My
a
wife ordered it.
metal one? Is it a metal one or a wooden one?
I'm hoping it's metal.
Does it have the swing and a little horse on the side?
I don't know. I think it's got a slide and a couple swings.
Uh,
My wife ordered it.
Speaking of slides, did you hear the joke that I told the other day?
Don't know.
You want,
Yeah.
you want to get that joke out again? Huh?
I don't know if you were on the panel the other. I thought I didn't think I told it, but then Justin reminded me that I did tell it. But anyway, why do your butt cheeks go like this and not like this?
So when you slide down the banister, you don't go. Beep, 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 beep. That's an old joke, TJ.
No, TJ. No, down.
That one, and imagine sliding down the banister and it turning into a razor blade. Oh,
Yeah.
I got that to do. I got to get out. The buggy is puffing oil out of the exhaust, so I'm gonna do a compression test. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to pull the driver's side again and replace the rings.
You've been working a lot on that buggy. For as
It's
much as
run-
you drive it.
It's running pretty. I know it's a weekend job to go ahead and pull the pistons and replace the rings, but and it's like it's just now getting good weather to drive it, but I don't really want to drive it if it's blowing oil in there. It's just gonna be gunking
But
up the.
It's a boxer engine, isn't it? So you
Uh-huh.
just unbolt the whole cylinders and take it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can do it on the car. I don't have to pull the engine. I can pull the wheel off on that side to get me access to it. And it's just first one of the most difficult parts is pulling the tin off of that side of the engine while it's still on the car because it's so tight to fit in there.
Yeah.
But pull the tin, then go ahead and pull the heads, and at that point I should be able to just pull probably both. Once I'm down there, I'll pull both cylinders, replace the rings on both cylinders on that side. I don't know if I want to do, since the other side is not misbehaving, might just hold those rings back and wait until I have to get down there to get in that side.
I wouldn't have thought you'd have even had to take the heads off.
Yeah,
much-
how would
Don,
I
how much-
how would I get the cylinders off?
Don, how much would it cost you to take it to a mechanic and
perfect.
let them do it?
Well, the
Were
heads
they-
are attached to the cylinders. The cylinders are attached to the block. Why not just take the heads of the cylinders off in one go?
Nope, they're not. Heads are separate. You have on that, your studs come out of the block, and the cylinders are just compression between the head and the block.
All right. Okay. Got you.
And new rings are going to cost me about $30 and a weekend of my time to do this.
Yeah.
Versus going and spending. If I took it to a mechanic, I could spend the same money and just replace the cylinders and the pistons all in one go and have
Yeah.
compression like a brand new engine. And
Mhm.
probably do it even cheaper. New pistons and cylinders for that thing would only be like $250, $300.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, you know?
Mm.
You're stuffing around in the garage like a 17-year-old, you know?
Yeah, but just the rings is only going to cost me like $30 if I'm just doing it myself, just doing these rings. If I take it to a mechanic, you're paying a mechanic what a brand new engine would cost almost.
Well,
So-
and the thing is if like their labor costs, so as most garages use a set of labor costs, and it used to be a
Yeah.
book back in the day they would look in.
There is a reason
And-
why Volkswagen engines, people who have Volkswagens work on their own engines. It's because you can almost buy a new engine for what it would cost to pay somebody to work on that engine.
Well, not to mention if it's something that says their labor book says it takes an hour to do, but a
Oh, yeah.
skilled mechanic could do it in a half hour. They're not charging you for a half hour. They're going
Uh-uh.
to charge you what their labor says to charge
Mhm.
you, and so they're going to charge you for that full hour regardless.
And it'll be just, I'll turn on the music and I'll spend the day out in the garage, pulling these out, putting them back in. And there's kind of a little bit of pride knowing that you can do something.
Yeah. When I took the engine out of my Triumph and rebuilt it, that was fun. I used to stay in the garage till about 2:30 in the morning doing that.
What Triumph did you have?
The 1500 front wheel drive Dolomite.
Dude, this NVIDIA eye contact is weird as shit. See how it's moving my eyes?
Oh yeah, you're not doing that. You're not glancing up; it's doing it automatically. He's clicking the button, and it's making his eyes.
Wait, what happened?
If you watch his eyes, he's not moving his eyes. He's looking down, but he clicks eye contact on NVIDIA, and it rolls his eyes for him.
Wait, let me see.
That's not me doing that. I'm literally looking down. It's the NVIDIA AI, a contact AI shit. It's fucking creepy looking.
I know. And you keep doing it, and it's just like.
Oh, you're actually looking down, but you're the AI.
Yeah,
thing
watch.
that
See, like right there, that's not me moving my eyes.
Oh.
I'll look away.
Yeah, that was
It's not me doing that.
That's a freaky shit.
It's creepy as shit looking.
that Triumph was a 1971.
That's funny. That's pretty good. That's
Like you'll be looking like over this
TJ,
way, your
load
eyes
that
are
on your
dead.
shit.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, and it was rolling your eyes.
Right, hold on.
It's
Let me pull it
impossible
back up.
for your eyes to actually roll that way.
Yeah, watch. Let me turn it on real quick.
That's funny. That's funny.
Well, and you can tell that the movement is so fluid and quick.
Yeah, it
It's-
snaps into place.
Yeah.
It's not like your eyes would actually. It's robotic.
But it's called eye contact beta. AI eye contact beta is what it's
Oh,
labeled as.
is that an app or something? Can
It's-
I use that?
No, it's built into my NVIDIA program.
Oh, that's creepy. When it was losing your eyes would
Yeah.
go back to normal, and but it kept on
Yeah.
twitching.
It's actually better than what it was a couple months ago, because you would turn it on and your eyes would be like you'd be looking down, all of a sudden they'd go, and it'd be like big as fuck. Like, they've improved it a little bit. It doesn't look as bad as it did. Well, yeah, when they first came out, dude, it would just make your eyes really big, and you'd be looking this way, but your eyes would be like right here, and it looked weird as shit.
Oh wow.
It's mainly for if like you were doing a professional presentation and you're trying to keep perfect eye contact. It's trying
Right.
to keep
And
eyes centered.
it also lets you put your transcript a little bit to the side, and it keeps eye contact. You could also be reading the chat. And
I didn't think
you'd be
about that for a
maintaining eye
teleprompter.
contact.
For
Yeah,
like a
it'd be-
teleprompter. Yeah,
Yeah, it'd be great.
good. Yeah, because you'd be able to slightly turn your eyes, read,
And
but
it
would
wouldn't
show
look
your
as
eyes.
bad if you were facing the camera like I'm doing right now. It wouldn't look that bad, but you're doing this, and that looks creepy.
Yeah, it's
But if you're turned and you're looking straight at the camera, and you could just go ahead and turn your eyes away and keep your
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I didn't think about that for a teleprompter. Yeah, that would probably work great.
Yeah, that'd be great for if you did like a talking head YouTube channel or something like that, and you need a teleprompter.
Is it actually reading a teleprompter?
Have you never heard of that, TJ? He's laughing at Talking Head. TJ, have you never heard of Talking Head?
Is actually reading a teleprompter professionally without moving your eyes is not easy to do. It does take practice. You can tell when somebody's not experienced using a teleprompter. You'll see their eyes constantly moving when they're reading.
You never know what's going to set them off.
That's funny.
What's funny? Talking head?
Yeah.
TJ, have you never heard that term, talking head?
Yeah, the pop group.
It's used for like newscasters and stuff like that because you always see them on TV and they're just a talking head on the TV.
Yeah.
Max Headroom.
That was pretty good.
Max Headroom.
Yeah.
I'm
they're a pop group.
That's
I
pretty
went-
good.
120 minutes into the future was the original, right?
I went back and watched some of those episodes on YouTube, and that was fucking weird.
What, Max Headroom?
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
yeah,
episodes were weird,
So weird.
but 120 minutes into the future, the original Max Headroom movie, it was good.
And then there was that person that hacked the news station and did their like own version of it. And I
Yep.
still to this day don't know who did that.
Nope.
The FBI like went in on that for what, like,
And they got rid of
Good
Max Headroom
decade.
because they said he was making kids stutter. Because kids were imitating
God.
Max Headroom.
Who's Max Headroom?
Max Headroom was a TV show.
it
Started
was really-
wasn't it a made for like BBC movie?
Yeah, I think it was. It's
It was
one of ours, I'm
120
sure.
120 minutes into the future. And basically it was a guy, a news reporter in the future, and he got too close to the higher ups in the TV station. And it was big conglomerates of TV stations that kind of ran everything. And he got too close to a story about blipverts killing people, which was where they were taking advertising and compressing it into like a really small, ultra tight, compact form where it was just rapid fire and it was killing people. And which is a crazy concept, but he got too close and he tried to escape and they made him crash his motorcycle and they copied his brain. One of the tech guys copied his brain and that brain became Max Headroom, a separate entity that lived in the computer.
Oh,
Whereas
wow,
he
that's
also
crazy.
survived, and so he's going along. So he's working with his digital counterpart, who was loco, batshit crazy inside the computer, and can move to different networks.
But
Yeah,
there was a
It was a bit
But the-
like a news story version of RoboCop.
But there was a person back when the show was out that actually hacked a real news network, and they had a mask on and they were standing in front of a wall and they were imitating the show.
Yeah,
And
and
the
they pulled their pants
FBI
down with a fly swatter or something like that.
Yeah, and the FBI actually like investigated it for over a decade and could never figure out who did it.
I want to
And
say
to
that
this day,
happened in
nobody
Illinois.
knows. I can't
wanna
remember
say.
exactly where, but yeah, they did. To
It's
this
somewhere
day,
in the
they
Midwest,
still
I'm pretty
don't
sure.
know who did it.
Well, back then, if you got access to the tower,
Oh, if you were any bit technical back then, it wouldn't have been hard for you to do that. These days, it'd be much harder for you. You'd really have to know what you were doing these days. Like
Yeah.
you'd have to be like at the tippy
well,
top.
there'd be
industry.
you would also be leaving a lot more of a footprint these days as well.
Right. Back then, if you were real technical, it would have been easier for you to get away with that.
Yeah.
Most likely, it was probably somebody that worked at one of those stations. I guarantee it.
Maybe not. It could have been somebody if you had it depends on how their feed was going out. If you had a powerful enough RF transmitter to hijack the signal, you could have.
Or if it wasn't somebody at the stations, then it was somebody that was in that industry that knew what they were doing.
Mhm.
I think. I mean, they had some kind of involvement in that industry, whether they worked for one of the stations or they had previously worked for one of them, and they understood how that technology worked and stuff. Then.
Hey, Don, Justin's kind of indicating that could be you.
Uh,
I wasn't old
Don-
enough back then.
Yeah, he wouldn't have been old enough. That person would have been. Shit, that person now would probably be as old
Dead.
as you, Paul, if not older. They'd probably be in Paul's age range right now.
Maybe. Depending on how old they were when we don't know. That could have been a 70, that could have been a 50, 60-year-old man
Well,
in that mask.
when did that happen? That would have been
What year was that? Yeah.
Signal hijacking was in 87.
so it wasn't that long ago.
That was 40 years ago.
Yeah, I was just going to say, when Max Headroom was on, I was in my 20s.
No, it wasn't 40 years ago because I was born in 85 and
Yeah.
I'm only 38.
I would have been 17.
That'd have been 36 years ago.
Wait, I would have been 17 when the hijacking took place.
Yeah, well, I just rounded it off to 40, but
Yeah, I guess, yeah, it could have been.
20 minutes into the future. Was
Yeah,
the
that
name.
could have.
I would have been 28.
Oh, and it was for Channel 4.
So yeah, that would have been. Yeah, like Donald said, it's possible it could have been a guy in his 50s. It could have been somebody in their 20s. It'd be cool if somebody actually came out and said
You
they
mean
did it, because I'm sure there's a statute of limitations on that now. I'm sure they
You mean-
probably wouldn't.
yeah, you
getting
mean
in trouble
Channel
for it.
4 in the UK?
Yes.
It's not the kind of thing really that would have been on the BBC. It is more like a
Yeah,
Channel-
more
Channel
edgy.
4 were more that kind of style.
Yeah. More punk rock.
Yeah. Except for like all the Spike Milligan stuff, which I
Were
think
The
was
young
on
ones Channel 4
BBC,
too?
BBC Two.
Were the young ones Channel 4?
The young ones.
I wonder
I
if
think
there
they
is.
were just. I think they were on ITV.
I'm gonna look it up.
The man working.
We got, whenever things came over here like that, we would get it on like MTV and stuff like that.
Yeah.
These odd cable networks that were like
Yeah,
looking
there
for
was only
content.
there was only a 5-year statute of limitations on that. They could have came out in '92 and said who they were. That would have been cool if they'd come out and actually somebody would actually, if they, I guess, were able to prove it was them. I don't know.
Oh, it was for BBC Two.
Mm,
So yeah, they could have came out in 1992
Oh.
and admitted it was them, and they wouldn't have got in trouble.
Yep.
And it was in Chicago. It was 2 television stations in Chicago, Illinois.
I said Illinois, didn't I?
Yeah.
My brain worked.
And if he would have been caught at the time, he could have faced a year in prison or $10,000. But if it was somebody and that was their first offense, I guarantee they would have got off like some kind of plea deal and found. They probably would. They're usually those kind of crimes, and they say
Probably, but
face up
he
to
also
years.
had his ass out on TV. So depending on how old the person was and how they might not want to people to know who they are.
Oh, maybe we should go back and analyze and see how wrinkled the ass was. Maybe we could tell the age.
It's kind of hard. We need to go ahead and put the video
yeah,
signal,
and see what see
through like
whether it was
AI to kind of clean it up.
see whether it was a vertical ass or a horizontal one.
And so if we can see if it's a wrinkled ass or not, we'll be able to try to tell the age.
If it's a wrinkle.
Yeah, calculate the age.
Yeah.
Count the
Oh, that's
rings.
as smooth
Count
as
the
a baby
rings around
bottom.
the ass. Count the rings around the hole, and it'll tell you how old the ass is.
That ass is as smooth as a baby's bottom. That had to have been a 20-year-old. I'm guessing it was. I'm almost on the same fence as Donald. I'm thinking it's probably somebody. I would say probably in the range of 30 to 50, and they were involved in that industry somehow.
Except for the fact that, like, thinking nowadays would have been that it would be more like a college student.
I mean, it's hard to say because there's
Maybe.
been older. older people have done stupid shit like that. I would probably be more leaning towards it with somebody in the younger age range, but that also seems like something that somebody in their 50s that had 20 years experience in that field, 20, 30 years, would have had the knowledge and the experience to be able to pull something like that off. At the same time, that's what I'm kind of on more of Donald's side. I'm thinking it was somebody that was definitely older that had a lot of experience and really understood that technology and had been around it a long time.
But also, was it only one station that they did, or was it a couple?
It was two. It said 2 different stations.
2 different stations, not sister stations. They were totally unrelated stations.
I don't think it actually said.
If they were unrelated stations, then I would. If they were related stations, I would say it was a disgruntled employee wanting to be an asshole. But
it just says 2 signals of 2 different stations in Chicago. So it's 2 separate television signals. That's why I'm saying I'm kind of thinking it might have been somebody older just for the simple fact they would have been around that shit a long time. Because the hacker, to be able to break into 2 different stations simultaneously and grab the signals, that would have took some skill back then.
It would have taken the equipment to do it, which
And
you
that's
would
what I'm
have
saying, you
more
would have
likely
had-
found
you wouldn't just
in
have
the
it. But
college.
Not necessarily. I mean, I kind of get what you're saying, Mark. I don't know.
Mhm.
It'd be cool if somebody actually, if they were still alive, if they'd just come out and say it was them, because like I said, they're way past the statute of limitations. It was only 5 years.
okay,
That's what,
it was during a sports segment of an independent TV station. Okay, and it was a sports segment. So that may have been they were getting a feed in from remote, and at that point you're just overriding that signal. You're jamming that signal. So that might be.
well, and plus your pool of people that technical back then would have been a lot smaller than today.
Huh.
Because the
And
tech
then-
industry is much larger today. There's most people like that are a dime a dozen these days.
And then the second time happened on a PBS station. So they were aiming the.
It's just like, people that
Yeah,
can
at
code.
that point, yeah. So, go ahead.
I mean, it's like people that can code and, like computer programmers back in the 80s and even a little bit before that, that pool of people that knew how to do that kind of stuff was very small. Compared to today, computer programmers are dime a dozen. I mean, that's why companies don't hire hackers anymore. They just have them prosecuted, because there's so many people out there that know how to hack and everything. It's not really worth their money to try to hire the person. Back then, it was a very set skill. So if somebody figured out how to hack in your company, they would say, well, why don't you come make 6 figures with us and show us how you did it and how to prevent it from happening again.
Well,
They don't do that no more.
You know how it was done though, because back then, right here, they're talking about how from their station they would send. It wasn't wired. It wasn't hardwired to the transmitter. It was sent via shortwave to the transmitter, which then sent it out, amplified it, and sent it out citywide. And so all you had to do is get close enough to the receiver and override find the same signal that it's coming in on, and get a stronger signal, and basically
So that
hijack that
would've-
signal into the receiver.
So that would have been a mobile setup, you're thinking?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, like
That
an
had to be.
outside broadcast van.
Mhm.
Where
That
are you
had to
going
been
at?
somebody that was
Stop.
older that
Logie.
probably had some money.
Come here.
I don't see where somebody would have got all the equipment
let me
back
tell you
then if they
something.
didn't have some kind of money or access
The
to it.
man's working downstairs.
That equipment back then, I mean,
The man's working downstairs.
it was common, so it wasn't like specialized equipment.
It wasn't expensive though back then.
If you bought brand new, probably, but
I could
Because I mean, there's some.
guarantee you that pretty much most radio amateurs would have been able to do that.
It would be basically the same expense as a ham radio setup.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, because I know some items, 30 years ago could have cost 20 grand, but then there's little cheap shit these days that can do the same thing you can get for, $100 off Amazon.
I mean, 40
yeah.
years ago, I was transmitting television over radio amateur frequencies.
So, Jonathan is flooding out.
Hey, look, there's his son, or his grandson.
Hey, buddy. Yeah.
He don't even, what is he? He's staring at something. He's like, oh,
He's looking at my magic bookshelf. He's looking at all the stuff in here that he hasn't gotten to look at yet. I've kept him locked out.
He's like, oh, I didn't get to touch all this yet.
I have. No, stay back.
Oh, you mean Jonathan, one of your grandsons? For a minute, I thought you meant JJ.
No, I was talking about Jonathan Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Azariah. Can you close the door?
It's an interesting
door.
name.
Thank you,
I
buddy.
think I've ever heard that name before.
What?
Azariah.
Yeah, it's. Oh, don't get me started. This kid has 4 different names before his last name.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Do you have a magic bookshelf in that room?
I've got
Yes, he does.
Oh.
It's straight out of fucking Harry Potter.
Sure have fucking Harry Potter.
I've got 3 names.
I got 2 names before my last name. That's it. I
Mark,
got first,
Raymond.
middle, and last.
Mark, Raymond, Simon.
I
Let me
just
look
got
up here.
Simon
3.
being my confirmation name.
God, you imagine when he's doing the state testing, he's got to fill in all the bubbles.
They had to. his name on the birth certificate was too long. They were trying to figure out how to get it on there, and we're trying to figure out if they can make the font smaller, but they would have to go through the state to get the program to put the font smaller. It was a.
Why didn't they just take one of the names out?
Because the guy that his dad is a effing retard.
Oh, Jesus.
Tell us what you really think now.
The
So
world would
what's
be better
his-
if the man
Well-
stopped breathing.
What was he trying to name the kid after 10 different family members or something?
No, the initials spell out amen.
Oh, God.
Yeah. I just thank God that when the second
just
kid came
name-
when the second
Just
kid
name
came
him
along,
Amen.
yeah, when the second kid came along, I just thank God he didn't try and spell out hallelujah.
Yeah.
So he wanted it to be an acronym for Amen,
Yeah, let
pretty
me
much.
yeah, let me
Yeah.
I have to look up the name because I forget all the names.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, she's got full legal custody. The first thing I would do would be to go change his name. That poor kid's gonna have to.
I mean, I would keep the first name only because he's already used to that.
Yes.
But get rid of all the other shit in the middle.
Huh?
Just give him a basic middle name.
Yeah, middle name McDonald.
A basic middle name that he can choose to go by later on in life if he wants to.
Because I actually like the name you called him because it's kind of unique. I've never heard that name before. So it's just kind of cool. But as far as you said, there's 5 different names in the middle. Yeah,
Here it is.
that's
It is Azariah, Maracia, Elias, Nariah.
Man, that's too many
Oh,
names.
Ferguson.
They're all names out of
Jesus
the Bible.
Christ.
Yeah.
That's too
What
many names.
grade is he in?
They're all out of the Old Testament.
He'll start this year.
Aren't they, Don?
He's got, he knows
Yes.
he knows all his names. He
From
doesn't
the
know how
Old
to,
Testament.
No, he
how to
doesn't
write
know.
'em out.
No, he doesn't know any of it.
He's going to be like high school before he gets it done.
Now's the time to change it, Don.
No, he's very nonverbal. He's doing better, but an abusive home where the guy was religious and
but
At
not
least he
in
didn't-
an organized religious way. He thought of himself as, yeah. he
Look,
was-
Don, send me the paperwork. I got a guy that does notary under the table. We'll get this done.
I guess you've got at least he didn't use Methuselah as the second name.
True. As stupid as he was, he might have used Metamucil.
Yeah.
That's funny. Metamucil.
But yeah,
Or even Mephistopheles.
That's pretty sad that you have to look his name up because it's so long you can't remember it.
Oh yeah, I
It's
can
crazy.
remember. I can remember what it spells out, but it's like I always forget the Mauricia.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, that's crazy. I've never actually known anybody that had that long of a name. Jesus.
Yeah.
Like if you wanted his name to be A Man, just fucking should have just named him A Man.
Well, you know, that's what you call cultural abuse.
Like I said, at the end of the day, you're just going to make it more difficult in his life when he has to do state testing. He has got to fill out all those bubbles. That's
Yep,
going to be a
yep.
fucking nightmare.
Yeah, it'll take him.
Take him half the damn day just to do his name in the test.
Can I fill out my name before my time starts, please?
Do I get extra credit on
on spelling it right? Yeah.
I wonder if he gets extra credit on the SATs for filling his name out. You know, that old joke they always said you get 600 points just for filling out your name.
What's going to be abusive is the way the other kids are going to treat him because he's such a strange name.
Well, I mean, he doesn't have to tell everybody his entire name like that, but still, it's just in the long run when he goes to do stuff when he's older, having a name that long can be a pain in the ass.
No,
Because-
Jonathan. No one says you're weird. Jonathan Jackson's an awesome name. That's got 2 J's in it. It's like a superhero name. You really should be putting on a mask and go out and fighting crime at night.
Yeah.
Not really. I mean, when you think about it, all those Americans from there that are called Zeke is actually short for
Ezekiel. Yeah.
I have two A's in my
Zach is
name.
short for Zachariah.
I think I've only ever known one Ezekiel, but we never called him Zeke. Not that I remember.
What's your name? Ezekiel, what's your name?
I think there was one kid when I went to high school with that name. If I remember.
Ezekiel.
Well,
think it
those
was-
are names that you would, or that
I think it was-
leastways we would more associate with rednecks, to be honest.
I think that was my friend Levi's little brother. He's a couple grades behind me. I think his name was Ezekiel.
See, there's another name from the Bible, Levi.
Yeah, his family was like super religious. They all had religious names. But they weren't like 15 fucking names like Donald's grandson.
Yeah, it just.
It was like Levi something McGee. I can't remember what his middle name was, but
501.
Now,
Yeah.
does the father have custody now?
No.
oh, that's why he's at Donald's house. That was the one
No.
Donald would have killed if he had the chance.
Yeah, he got the divorce went through, and she got full legal custody. They moved down here, and he hasn't even since the decree came through. He hasn't even tried to contact them as far as getting the boys for visitation.
That was the one Donald was telling us about that one day. It was an absolute piece of shit. It was hitting his daughter and stuff.
Mhm.
I could never imagine doing that, dude.
And-
Especially in front of my
and-
kids.
Unfortunately, both boys were nonverbal. They're getting better.
That's good.
So
But-
they kind of traumatized.
They are. They're starting from behind everybody else for a lot of stuff, but they've got time to catch up. They're getting better.
Especially if you can get them into a program for that.
Yeah,
I'm
we-
sure there's
yeah,
something
they're-
for that. Yeah.
Yep, they are. But they
Well, hopefully they get better. That's
and
that
being down here
sucks, man.
around. Oh,
Dude, I just don't know how people do that, dude. I just look at Sarah and I couldn't imagine like just abusing her like that. That just blows my fucking mind.
Oh, I look at my wife and I can imagine it. No, I'm kidding. That was a joke.
I could never look at.
Knew you were gonna say that. Knew it. I just
That
knew
was a
it.
joke. I had to say it. I could not help it.
Yeah, I could never imagine doing that. Like,
Hmm.
Well, I can imagine that the moving closer to you is going to be definitely to their benefit.
Yeah,
Because
and
you are going to get them into reading books.
well, yeah, they're doing that, and we're working on because the way they are verbal, they don't enunciate a lot, and it comes down to their mom knows what they're saying, so they get by with a little bit, and so I've been working on them a little bit, where the little one, he's much better. He's not quite as far behind. The older one is the one that was nonverbal for the longest, and get out last night. I've been getting out the chessboard for the last several days, and the boys get all excited. We got the chessboard because they get to interact, and I pull out the pieces, and what is this? And pawn. And it's like pawn, and I will make sure that they enunciate the P and pawn, and work with them on that a little bit. And it's a fun game for them to identify the pieces, and then they get to play with them because they're magnetized, and they get to play with them for a while, and then.
and what's great is the more they're around you guys and they're hearing you guys talk, hopefully they'll pick some of that up as well.
Yeah,
Being
hopefully.
around you guys a lot.
Just having more people. There's been studies showing that the more people you are around when you're a kid, the better you are as far as your vocabulary, your intelligence, because you are introduced to more words. And so.
Yeah, you just got to watch which words they hear.
I don't care if they started cussing me out. That'd be awesome.
Doesn't matter. They're going to learn that shit from school anyway.
It doesn't matter if they were coming here, and if they called me a motherfucker, I'd say, okay, mother, enunciate mother.
Yeah.
I like how TJ was mouthing along.
Mother.
TJ's like, oh, okay. We're improving TJ's enunciation as we.
Like I said, you can try to shelter your kids from cursing and all that as much as you want, but if they end up in middle school and high school, they're going to end up doing it with their friends anyway.
They're going to learn it, but is you.
But if they have enough respect to not do it around you,
yes,
when they're that age,
I still won't cuss around my parents.
At the end of the day, that means that at least they understand the boundary.
Yeah, I would still be embarrassed to cuss in front of my parents.
Oh, I'm not. If I talk to my mom, I'm not like that with her now.
If I do, it's like I say shit. I said shit. I say shit, and they can't stop me. They can't do anything about it because I'm old. I'm an adult.
Yeah. My mum actually still says crisp packet for that. Because have you ever stood on a crisp packet?
I bet Donald still does that with his brother. If you touch me again, I'm telling mom.
Because it's greasy inside. It just feels like you've stood in dog shit.
On a packet of crisps?
An empty crisp packet.
Oh, because it slides a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think if you were to do that, it would just like crush, wouldn't it? I mean, it would just.
He's talking about empty. No chips in it.
Oh God, there's nothing worse than walking to the house in
cellophane.
the middle of the night and stepping on dog shit.
Like I did the other day when I stepped in cat shit.
We cat shit.
Oh yeah, there's nothing worse than it gets all between your toes
TJ
and shit.
found that a finger licking
And
experience.
then you're doing the single leg hop all the way to the bathroom to get your foot in the bathtub.
Yeah.
Or
I
you're
can't do
walking
that
on your
anymore.
or you're walking
Gotta
on your
walk on your
heel the whole way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter how often you wash it, it still stinks.
And then you're cussing at 2 o'clock in the morning, motherfucking animals. God damn it. When you're going to the bathroom.
No, my thing is when they get mad, they'll come over and in the hallway, as soon as I walk down the hallway, in the middle of the hallway, I'll find a turd. Or like the other day, I wasn't paying attention to Cleo, and I said, go away, just go away right now. And I went to get up, and there was a turd right next to my desk. I looked down, and Loki's.
As long as they haven't got diarrhea, you're all right.
And what was Loki doing?
And Loki's sitting over there looking at the turd. He's staying away from it because he don't want to be a part of it, right? And I know it was Cleo because Loki never came over here. So Cleo's in the doorway just looking at me, waiting for me to see it. I looked down and said, I looked over at Cleo and said, who made this? Who made this poop? Loki goes, boom, runs over, gets in the corner and hides. He said, I ain't going to be around here.
Because he knows it was him.
No, it wasn't him. He knows he didn't want to be blamed for it because he didn't even come over here when it happened. Because she was over here and I saw him get up and walk away. And I'm sitting there and she's I said, I'm not giving you anything. Just go right now. I'm working. And she got up and she went and sat by the door waiting. And she was waiting for me to see it. So I looked over at her when I went to get up. They got a turd sitting right there. And I said, who did this? Loki went, I'm out.
Wasn't me.
He said, wasn't me. He's gone.
If my cat
Tino wouldn't even come out the chair. He was smart.
Didn't Laura leave for Scotland today?
She's going to Scotland.
She was on the panel earlier.
Was she?
Well, not on the panel. She was in the chat earlier.
Yeah, she came in and said,
right
shut up,
before.
Joe, and shut up, TJ.
Yeah.
It must have been right before I came in. And I thought she was leaving today. I thought it was.
If you were here, she'd have said, shut up.
I don't know. It's sometime. It could be next week. I don't know. Yeah, I'm lucky with my.
I'm gonna go ahead and get off.
She needs to have a crap in the house.
Get ready for work.
I think we're gonna close it down.
Yep, I gotta get out and start working on that buggy. So.
Okay, TJ.
I got a game tonight, so.
See you, TJ.
I'll see y'all tomorrow morning.
See everybody later again.
Happy safe Friday the 13th.
Bye-bye.
I'll see y'all tomorrow morning.
Yeah, all
Got a
the,
game.
Yeah, you
all
got
the Friday
football
the
tonight.
13th
Okay.
films will be on telly tonight.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for being here.